Create the supreme fairyland in the era of universal lords. Chapter 26. Time quickly advanced to the afternoon. After lunch, Li Chenxiao, Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, and the Yue Palace disciples arrived at the city wall. Today's monsters were later than usual, the entire fog remained still, and Li Chenxiao wondered if they would wait until nightfall. If they waited until night, it would be troublesome. If the current wave invaded alongside tomorrow's, it meant two waves could merge into one, doubling the pressure. During this time, Li Chenxiao raised Lin Chaoying's level to 3. A pleasant surprise was that increasing Lin Chaoying's level also increased her favorability by 5 points. Lin Chaoying's attribute panel is as follows. Lin Chaoying. Others omitted. Level 3. Favorability 75. Constitution 10,100. Spirit 10,100. Time slowly passed in waiting, and it was quickly past 5 p.m. Just as Li Chenxiao was about to go to dinner with Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying, the fog outside began to stir, and faint hissing sounds could be heard from within. Immediately after, a large group of lizardmen, flicking their tongues and wielding weapons, charged from the fog towards the city wall. Void Lizardman. Level 9. Quality Blue. Constitution 180. Spirit 180. Skills Throw, Heavy Strike. Void Lizardman Elite. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 440. Spirit 440. Skills Throw, Heavy Strike. Yu Yao let out a soft cry, saying, "Kill them for me." Before her words finished, her figure transformed into a streak of light and appeared below the city wall. Lin Chaoying and the other Yue Palace disciples followed closely, flying down from the city wall and engaging in battle with the monsters outside. Lin Chaoying, at some unknown point, produced a golden bell whip. With each swing, a lizardman was killed, unable to get close to her. Over an hour later, all the monsters were slain, and the ground was littered with monster treasure chests, a testament to the intensity of the battle. The battle ended. Campaign ended. Starting settlement. Campaign settlement. Enemies. 2000 level 9 Void Behemoths, 400 level 10 Void Behemoth Elites. Campaign result. Complete victory. Campaign rating. SSS. Basic rewards. 4,800 Void Source Crystals, 4,800 Void Source Stones. Additional rewards, SSS, 48,000 Void Source Stones, 48,000 Void Source Crystals, Territory Buildings, Arrow Tower X72, Farmland X62, Apartment X1. Seeing the apartment appear, Li Chenxiao felt a surge of excitement, finally no longer needing to live in a small wooden house. Immediately, a pang of disappointment flashed through him. With the apartment, it also meant Yu Yao would no longer live in the same room as him. Thinking of this, he felt an indescribable sadness, but then, remembering Yu Yao's favorability of over 90, this sadness greatly diminished. There was still a long time ahead, and there was no need to rush this moment. Overall, the benefits outweighed the drawbacks. He had been worrying about Lin Chaoying's accommodation for the night, but unexpectedly, when he was sleepy, a pillow appeared, directly solving the problem. Yu Yao and the others also returned at this time. Yu Yao asked, as the young master finished. Yes. Li Chenxiao nodded. Hearing Li Chenxiao's reply, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Today's ending is just in time. After dinner, the sisters can have a good rest, Yu Yao said, her pretty face showing unconcealed joy. Li Chenxiao nodded in agreement, saying, "Everyone, first collect all the treasure chests outside, then wash up and go straight to dinner." After speaking, Li Chenxiao returned to the location of the small wooden house and proceeded to dismantle it. After dismantling was complete, he took out the apartment, threw it onto the empty ground, and watched as the architectural model expanded with the wind. Soon, a modern-style apartment appeared before his eyes. Apartment Plus. Level 10100. Quality Common White. Function Residence. Rooms 10. Li Chenxiao directly clicked on the plus sign. A divine light shot out, enveloping the apartment. When the divine light dissipated, the apartment before him had completely transformed. An ancient-style palace appeared before his eyes. Lingxiao Palace. Type Apartment. Level 103,200. Quality Golden Legend. Functions Residence, recovery speed increased by 1x, Cultivation speed increased by 1x. Rooms. 110x10. Seeing this, Li Chenxiao was excited. It increased recovery speed and cultivation speed. Increased recovery speed meant that future battles could last longer, and increased cultivation speed meant leveling up much faster than others. In the Lord era, it meant saving a large amount of Void Source stones for future hero troops upgrades, which was simply perfect. After building the apartment, Li Chenxiao returned to the South City Wall, took out the arrow towers, and began to evolve them. Li Chenxiao had just realized that the two arrow towers were starting to struggle. In the future, monsters would become more numerous and stronger, so it was better to set up more towers early. Arrow Tower Plus. Li Chenxiao took out a total of 6 arrow towers. After evolution, 1 repeating crossbow tower and 1 frost tower were added. The remaining 4 arrow towers were a Holy Light Tower, an Illumination Tower, a Weakening Tower, and a Vine Tower. Holy Light Tower. Level 1, 3200. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 3200, 320x10. Defense. 3200, 320x10. Attack range. 3200 meters, 320x10. Fire rate. 1 shot per second, 0.1x10. Durability. 32000, 3200x10. Inventory. 100 100s 10x10. Attached skill. Holy Light. Holy Light. Shoots holy light arrows at enemies within the forward attack range, dealing double damage to dark-type monsters. Illumination Tower. Level 1, 3200. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 0. Defense. 3200, 320x10. Illumination range. 3200 meters, 320x10. Durability. 32000, 3200x10. Inventory. 100 100s 10x10. The illumination range is as bright as day, revealing all monsters, including invisible ones. Weakening Tower. Level 1, 3200. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 0. Defense. 3200, 320x10. Weakening range. 3200 meters, 320x10. Durability. 32000, 3200x10. Inventory. 100 100s 10x10. Attached skill. Weakening. Weakening. All monsters within the weakening range enter a weakened state, reducing their overall strength by 10%. Vine Tower. Level 1, 3200. Quality. Golden Legend. Same as Holy Light Tower. Attached skill. Vine. Vine. Shoots vine arrows at enemies within the forward attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it immobilizes them for 0.3x10 seconds. Li Chenxiao looked at the 6 additional arrow towers and nodded with satisfaction, especially the 4 newly added types. Many monsters in the void are dark type, including ghosts, which are also a type of dark type. Physical arrow towers generally cannot harm ghost-type monsters, only magic-based ones can. With the Holy Light Tower, it was like adding wings to a tiger. The Illumination Tower, though without attack power, had special abilities 3 times stronger than other arrow towers. With the Illumination Tower, Li Chenxiao and his allies no longer had to fear night battles or sneak attacks from invisible monsters. The Weakening Tower was similar to the Illumination Tower. At only level 1, it could weaken monsters' overall abilities by 10%. At higher levels, it would weaken them even more. The Vine Tower was also excellent. A single immobilization turned monsters into living targets, only able to take hits. After finishing these tasks, Li Chenxiao went to the dining hall. Upon entering, Yu Yao and the others had already finished eating and were chatting inside. Seeing Li Chenxiao enter, they all greeted him, and for a moment, his ears were filled with their gentle, charming voices. Looking at the enchanting beauties before him, Li Chenxiao was in an excellent mood. After dinner, Li Chenxiao took them to the Lingxiao Palace. After assigning rooms to everyone, they all went back to rest. After returning to his room, Li Chenxiao lay on the soft, large bed, took out the treasure chests given by Yu Yao and the others, and began to open them. Obtained 7 Void Source Crystals. Obtained 5 Void Source Crystals, 3 Void Source Stones. Obtained 6 Void Source Crystals. Obtained. 3 Void Source Stones. Obtained. 5 Void Source Crystals, Common Equipment Dual Blades. Obtained. Arrow Tower, 6 Void Source Crystals. The treasure chests yielded a total of 15,600 Void Source Crystals, 14,632 Void Source Stones, 65 Arrow Towers, 50 farmlands, and various other items. The total income from this wave of monsters is as follows. Void Source Crystals, 68,400. Void Source Stones, 67,432. Territory Buildings, 137 Arrow Towers, 112 farmlands, 1 apartment, and various other equipment and sundries. Including the previously remaining resources, Li Chenxiao's current resources are Void Source Crystals, 79,182. Void Source Stones, 80,654. Territory Buildings, 453 Arrow Towers, 390 farmlands, and various other equipment and sundries. Li Chenxiao directly spent 32,000 Void Source Stones to upgrade the defense towers to level 2, leaving 48,654 Void Source Stones. He had originally wanted to upgrade the Myriad Realms Goddess Palace to unlock higher levels for Yu Yao and the others, but there weren't enough Void Source Stones, so Li Chenxiao could only give up. He opened the upgraded Arrow Towers and began to inspect them. Repeating Crossbow Tower. Level 2, 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 9600, 960x10. Defense. 9600, 960x10. Attack range. 9,600 meters, 960x10. Fire rate. 2 shots per second, 0.2x10. Durability. 96000, 9600x10. Inventory. 300 30x10. Attached skill. Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire. Unleashes a rapid fire attack on enemies within the forward attack range, firing 10 shots per second, 1x10. Cooldown. 1 hour. Frost Tower. Level 2, 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Same as Repeating Crossbow Tower. Attached skill. Freeze. Freeze. Shoots arrows at enemies within the forward attack range with a freezing effect. Upon hitting an enemy, it freezes them for 0.4x10 seconds. Explosive Flame Tower. Level 2, 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Same as Repeating Crossbow Tower. Attached skill. Explosive Flame. Explosive Flame. Shoots arrows at enemies within the forward attack range with an explosive effect. Upon hitting an enemy, it explodes, causing secondary damage. Lightning Tower. Level 2, 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Same as Repeating Crossbow Tower. Attached skill. Lightning. Lightning. Shoots arrows at enemies within the forward attack range with a lightning effect. Upon hitting an enemy, the enemy enters a paralyzed state, unable to use skills. Holy Light Tower. Level 2, 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Same as Repeating Crossbow Tower. Attached skill. Holy Light. Holy Light. Shoots holy light arrows at enemies within the forward attack range, dealing 2.2 times damage to Dark-type monsters. Illumination Tower. Level 2, 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 0. Defense. 9600, 960x10. Illumination range. 9,600 meters, 960x10. Durability. 96000, 9600x10. Inventory. 300 300ths. The illumination range is as bright as day, revealing all monsters, including invisible ones. Weakening Tower. Level 2, 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 0. Defense. 9600, 960x10. Weakening range. 9,600 meters, 960x10. Durability. 96000, 9600x10. Inventory. 300 300ths. All monsters within the weakening range enter a weakened state, reducing their overall strength by 12%. Vine Tower. Level 2, 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Same as Repeating Crossbow Tower. Attached skill. Vine. Vine. Shoots vine arrows at enemies within the forward attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it immobilizes them for 0.4 x 10 seconds. Looking at the upgraded arrow towers, Li Chenxiao finally entered his dreams with a smile on his face. Li Chenxiao had never slept so soundly before. He woke up after 3 p.m. After washing up, he walked out of the palace to find Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying sitting in a pavilion in the palace garden, drinking tea and chatting. A cool breeze rustled through the myriad flowers, and the two enchanting beauties complemented the surrounding scenery, making them appear even more captivating. Li Chenxiao walked directly towards them. Both beauties were heroes with extremely high attributes. As soon as Li Chenxiao approached, they sensed his presence and turned their heads, their exquisite faces showing a hint of joy. They greeted Li Chenxiao in unison. "Young master, you're awake," Yu Yao said, picking up the teapot and pouring a cup of tea for Li Chenxiao. "Yes, I slept quite deeply last night and woke up late today. What's the situation now? Have today's monsters not arrived yet?" he asked, sitting down and taking a sip of tea. Lin Chaoying replied, "A portion of monsters invaded last night, about 1,000 of them. There hasn't been a large-scale invasion from morning until now. Young master, some new arrow towers were added yesterday, and they are incredibly powerful. The monsters were all shot down by the arrow towers before they even reached the city walls." Lin Chaoying briefly explained the monster invasion situation to Li Chenxiao. Li Chenxiao said apologetically, "You've all worked hard, guarding through the night. Now that the arrow towers have been increased and upgraded, you should all get more rest at night unless it's a large-scale invasion." Yu Yao said, "It's fine. Our attributes are high, we can go without sleep for a few days. Moreover, the recovery speed inside the palace is very fast, our energy recovers quickly. Young master, we've put last night's treasure chests in a separate room. There's no rush for those. We'll open them all together after the monster invasion ends, that would be better." Li Chenxiao and Yu Yao continued to drink tea and chat, enjoying this rare moment of peace. However, this tranquility was soon broken when a Yiwa palace disciples guarding the city reported a large number of monsters attacking. Li Chenxiao and Yu Yao immediately went to the city walls. Upon reaching the city walls, they saw a horde of undead monsters outside, roughly tens of thousands, surging towards the city walls in waves. Void Skeleton Warrior. Level 10. Quality Blue. Physique 220. Spirit 220. Skills Heavy Strike, Death Curse. Void Skeleton Archer. Level 10. Quality Blue. Physique 220. Spirit 220. Skills Rapid Shot, Death Curse. Void Skeleton Mage. Level 10. Quality Blue. Physique 220. Spirit 220. Skills Fireball, Death Curse. Although their attributes were not high, they all possessed a skill called Death Curse. Upon attacking an enemy, it would curse them, randomly reducing their spirit or physique by 1% for 1 hour. This was very troublesome because it was a percentage reduction, and if someone was attacked by multiple enemies, there was a risk of falling. Fortunately, the arrow towers were increased yesterday and upgraded to level 2, significantly increasing their attack and defense range. Many monsters fell directly under the attack of the arrow towers. Yu Yao and the others, relying on the arrow towers, the city walls, and their incredibly high attributes, prevented any monsters from reaching them. This invasion battle lasted until after 8 p.m. Battle over. Commencing settlement. Battle settlement. Enemies. 7,000 level 10 Void Skeleton Warriors, 4,200 level 10 Void Skeleton Archers, 2,000 Void Skeleton Mages. Battle result. Complete victory. Battle rating. SSS. Basic reward. 26,400 Void Source Crystals, 26,400 Void Source Stones. Additional reward, SSS 264,000 Void Source Crystals, 264,000 Void Source Stones, Territory Buildings, Arrow Tower X105, Farmland X98, Soul Requiem Hall X1, Water Well X5, Barracks X1. After the battle, Li Chenxiao and Yu Yao collected the treasure chests, totaling over 12,000. Adding the over 1,000 from last night, it was exactly over 13,000. By the time Li Chenxiao finished dinner with Yu Yao and opened the treasure chests, it was already past 11 p.m. when he returned to his residence. Lying in bed, Li Chenxiao checked his gains for the day. From the treasure chests, he obtained a total of 79,000 void source crystals, 75,200 void source stones, 90 arrow towers, 70 farmland, 3 water wells, and various other items. The total income from this wave of monsters was as follows. Void source crystal, 369,400. Void source stone, 365,600. Territory buildings, 195 arrow towers, 168 farmland, 1 soul requiem hall, 8 water wells, and various other equipment. Looking at this haul, Li Chenxiao's heart was stirred. The other items were manageable, he could accumulate them over time. However, the Soul Requiem Hall was something Li Chenxiao never expected to obtain. The full name of the Soul Requiem Hall is the All-People Lord Soul Requiem Hall, one of the Lord's most important core buildings. As the name suggests, its only function is that after heroes and troops die, the Lord can spend a certain price to revive them. In the Lord era, heroes and troops were the most important assets for a Lord. Therefore, all Lords desired a Soul Requiem Hall. However, this was a special building with an extremely low drop rate and high demand. Many great lords did not have a Soul Requiem Hall, making this building priceless and unobtainable. Li Chenxiao never expected to acquire this building during his trial period. Thinking of this, Li Chenxiao could no longer lie still. He went to an open space in his territory and placed the Soul Requiem Hall, and soon a small temple appeared before him. Soul Requiem Hall Plus. Type. Temple. Level. 101,000. Function. Revive heroes, revive troops. Revival restriction. Level 1. Cooldown. Varies with the quality of heroes and troops. Higher quality heroes and troops have longer revival cooldowns. Revival flaw. Enters a one-day weakened state, only able to exert 50% of overall strength. The revival flaw decreases as the level increases. If revived more than twice within one day, the quality of the hero or troops will decrease. Li Chenxiao immediately clicked the plus sign. A divine light enveloped the Soul Requiem Hall, and soon the light dissipated. The building before him was now larger, and the plaque above the entrance had changed to Reincarnation Hall. Reincarnation Hall. Type. Temple. Level. 1010,000. Function. Revive heroes, revive troops. Revival restriction. Level 1. Cooldown. Varies with the quality of heroes and troops. Higher quality heroes and troops have longer revival cooldowns. Revival flaw. The first revival does not incur a weakened state. Subsequent revivals incur a weakened state, only able to exert 90% of overall strength. The revival flaw decreases as the level increases. If revived more than 20 times within one day, the quality of the hero or troops will decrease. Looking at the Reincarnation Hall before him, Li Chenxiao's heart was filled with wild joy, and a radiant smile spread across his face. The Soul Requiem Hall was already powerful, but the mutated Reincarnation Hall was even stronger. Li Chenxiao now had another trump card. After mutating all the water wells into full moon wells, Li Chenxiao returned to rest, satisfied. On the morning of the 10th day, Li Chenxiao woke up early and checked his current resources. Void Source Crystal, 448,582 pieces. Void Source Stone, 414,254 pieces. Territory Buildings, 646 arrow towers, 558 farmlands, and various other equipment. Looking at the more than 400,000 Void Source Stones, Li Chenxiao was all smiles. Last time, he had intended to upgrade the Myriad Realms Goddess Palace, but he was short on Void Source Stones. This time, he could freely upgrade the Myriad Realms Goddess Palace. He first went to the Myriad Realms Goddess Palace and spent 160,000 Void Source Stones to upgrade its level to 5. Myriad Realms Goddess Palace. Level 3 right pointing arrow 5. Hero level cap unlocked to level 5. Li Chenxiao then spent 51,200 Void Source Stones to upgrade Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying to level 5. He also spent 96,000 Void Source Stones to upgrade 30 Yu of Palace Disciples to level 5. He still had 107,054 Void Source Stones remaining. Originally, Li Chenxiao had planned to upgrade the arrow towers, but a barracks was rewarded yesterday, which meant he could now summon troops exclusive to Lin Chaoying. Although Lin Chaoying didn't express it, Li Chenxiao could still sense the envy in her eyes when she looked at Yu Yao and the Yue Palace disciples. After finishing these tasks, Li Chenxiao went directly to the restaurant for a meal. While eating, he saw Lin Chaoying and Yu Yao walk in. After the three of them finished their meal together, Li Chenxiao took Lin Chaoying directly to the Yue Palace barracks, took out a barracks and a token for the exclusive troops, Ancient Tomb Sect. Detected barracks and exclusive troops of matching quality. Do you want to fuse and solidify? The solidified quality will be Golden Legend. Yes, no. Yes. The barracks and the exclusive quality token were simultaneously enveloped in a beam of light. When the light dissipated, an ancient tomb appeared before their eyes. Although it was an ancient tomb, it lacked the eerie and terrifying atmosphere typically associated with one. Ancient Tomb Sect. Type: Barracks. Level: 103,200. Quality: Golden Legend. Function: can recruit Ancient Tomb Sect disciples from any time and space. Troops quantity: 0-100s 10x10. Recruitment cost: 320 person. Li Chenxiao first spent 3,200 Void Source Stones to upgrade the Ancient Tomb Sect to level 2, and then spent 9,600 Void Source Crystals to summon 30 Ancient Tomb Sect disciples. The next moment, the gate of the Ancient Tomb Sect barracks opened, and 30 cold and beautiful women, dressed in white long dresses with their hair cascading down their backs, with only 2 strands hanging in front of their chests, walked out. They walked up to Li Chenxiao, Yu Yao, and Lin Chaoying, bowed respectfully, and said, "Greetings, young master, greetings, ancestor." Lin Chaoying looked at the 30 Ancient Tomb Sect disciples before her. Even with her naturally aloof personality, she couldn't help but get excited and said, "There's no need for formalities. This is no longer our original world. From now on, we can address each other as sisters." A piece of information flowed through Li Chenxiao's mind. Lin Chaoying is grateful that the Lord summoned Ancient Tomb Sect disciples. Affection +10. Current affection: 85. Looking at Lin Chaoying, Li Chenxiao knew her affection would increase, but he didn't expect it to rise so much. He then checked the attributes of the Ancient Tomb Sect disciples. Ancient Tomb Sect disciples. Identity: Troops. Race: Human. Quality: Golden Legend. Level: 10320. Affection: 70. Bloodline: Netherworld Bloodline +1. Talent: Jade Maiden Pure Heart +1. Skills: Jade Maiden Heart Sutra, Golden Bell Rope Technique, Jade Maiden Swordplay, Welcoming Breeze Sweeping Willows, Beauty Fist. Bond: Ancient Tomb Disciples. Physique: 840 Base Attribute 32x2x10 plus 10x2x10. Spirit: 840 Base Attribute 32x2x10 plus 10x2x10. Ancient Tomb Disciples. Bond quality: Golden Legend. Attributes: when there are more than 3 Ancient Tomb Sect disciples present, the bond is activated. Upon activation, all Ancient Tomb Sect disciples, physique increases by 50% and spirit increases by 150%, lasting for 1800 seconds. Base value 60x number of people. Looking at the Ancient Tomb Sect disciples, Li Chenxiao nodded with satisfaction and then spent 96,000 Void Source Stones to upgrade the Ancient Tomb Sect disciples to level 4. He then brought them to the Immortal Armory, opened its characteristic panel, and began to craft exclusive troop sets for the Ancient Tomb disciples. Troops equipment: Ancient Tomb Golden Bell, Ancient Tomb Long Dress, Ancient Tomb Jade Sword. Ancient Tomb Golden Bell Rope. Quality: Golden Legend. Type: Troops Exclusive. Level: 3. Characteristics: Bind, Penetrate, Severe Injury, Hit, Interfere. Bind: throwing the Golden Bell Rope can bind enemies, making them unable to move. Penetrate: deals penetration damage to enemies. Severe Injury: inflicts a severe injury effect on enemies, reducing their recovery speed. Hit: after the Jade Hairpin is shot, it will definitely hit the enemy. Interfere: the Golden Bell in hand emits sound, interfering with enemies. Surrounding enemies cannot use skills and can only perform basic attacks. Ancient Tomb Long Dress. Quality: Golden Legend. Type: Troops exclusive. Level 3. Characteristics. Immaculate, body protection, melee damage reduction, range damage reduction, increased dual defense. Immaculate. Clothes are always clean and tidy. Body protection. When an attack exceeds the maximum bear capacity, body protection is triggered, resisting this damage. It can be triggered once a day. Melee damage reduction. Reduces damage taken from melee attacks. Range damage reduction. Reduces damage taken from ranged attacks. Increased dual defense. Increases physical and magical defense. Ancient Tomb Jade Sword. Quality. Golden Legend. Type. Troops exclusive. Level 3. Characteristics. Armor Pierce, Evil Break, Bleeding, Severe Injury, Critical Hit. Armor Pierce. Deals extra damage to armor. Evil Break. Attacks carry a holy attribute, dealing massive damage to dark creatures. Bleeding. After dealing damage to an enemy, a bleeding effect is applied. Severe Injury. Inflicts a severe injury effect on enemies, reducing their recovery speed. Critical Hit. Each attack deals double damage to enemies. The overall strength of the territory is now, Hero Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying are level 5, all 30 Yiwa Palace disciples are level 5, and all 30 Ancient Tomb Sect disciples are level 4. Including Li Chenxiao, there are a total of 63 people. Their attribute panels are as follows. Yu Yao. Others omitted. Level 5. Affection. 91. Physique. 49,060. Spirit. 49,060. Lin Chaoying. Others omitted. Level 5. Affection. 85. Physique. 49,000. Spirit. 49,000. Yiwa Palace disciples. Others omitted. Level 5. Affection. 82. Physique. 9,800. Spirit. 9,800. Ancient Tomb Sect disciples. Others omitted. Level 4. Affection. 80. Physique. 6,600. Spirit. 6,600. After all the expenditures, 399,302 void source crystals remained, and 11,054 void source stones remained. However, Li Chenxiao temporarily did not plan to use these void source crystals to draw heroes in the Myriad Realms Goddess Palace. He wanted to save them for now, to upgrade the Immortal Armory later and raise the exclusive equipment of the troops to the same level as the troops. Li Chenxiao looked at everything before him, an immense sense of pride welling up in his heart. Everything in the territory was steadily developing in a positive direction. Although he didn't have the most people, in terms of overall strength, Li Chenxiao could crush anyone during the trial period. At 12 p.m., as Li Chenxiao and Yu Yao were eating, the monster invasion began. Li Chenxiao and the others had no choice but to put down their bowls and chopsticks and quickly made their way to the south side of the territory. The Yiwa Palace disciples and Ancient Tomb Sect disciples defending the city were already engaged in battle with the monsters. Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying flew directly off the city wall and plunged into the monster horde. The monsters this time were a group of humanoid creatures riding giant wolves, completely encased in armor, and wielding long spears. Void Wolf Cavalry. Level 10. Quality. Blue Fine. Constitution. 220. Spirit. 220. Skills. Throw, Charge. Throw. Throws the long spear at an enemy, dealing 1.5 times Constitution as damage. Charge. The wolf cavalry and giant wolves accelerate and charge towards enemies, increasing speed by 50% and causing a knock-back effect on enemies, lasting 30 seconds. Void Giant Wolf. Level 10. Quality. Blue Fine. Constitution. 220. Spirit. 220. Skills. Bite, Frenzy. Bite. The giant wolf bites an enemy, causing bleeding damage. Damage per second is equal to current constitution, lasting 30 seconds. Frenzy. The void wolf cavalry and giant wolves enter a frenzied state. Attack is constitution plus spirit, lasting 60 seconds. Looking at the battle below the city wall, Li Chenxiao's face showed a solemn expression. Although there were fewer types of monsters today than yesterday, today's was a combination, definitely not as simple as 1 + 1 = 2, as skills could also be combined. Moreover, the wolf men were intelligent monsters, meaning they could coordinate their attacks, greatly increasing their combat power. This battle, which started at 12 p.m., lasted until after 9 p.m. Campaign ended. Starting settlement. Campaign settlement. Enemies. 20,000 level 10 Void Wolf Cavalry, 20,000 level 10 Void Giant Wolves. Campaign result. Complete victory. Campaign rating. SSS. Basic rewards. 40,000 Void Source Stone, 40,000 Void Source Crystal. Additional rewards. SSS, 400,000 Void Source Stone, 400,000 Void Source Crystal. Territory buildings. Arrow Tower X130, Farmland X106, Immortal Pill Pavilion X1, Water Well X10. After the battle, Li Chenxiao and Yu Yao picked up the treasure chests together, totaling 40,000 chests. After dinner, Li Chenxiao told Yu Yao and the others to rest. Li Chenxiao returned to his room and began opening the treasure chests. Obtained. 5 Void Source Crystal. Obtained. 5 Void Source Crystal, 3 Void Source Stone. Obtained. 2 Void Source Crystal. Obtained. 3 Void Source Stone. Obtained. 5 Void Source Crystal, White Common Equipment Long Spear. Obtained. Arrow Tower, 6 Void Source Crystal. From the treasure chests, a total of 256,000 Void Source Crystal, 233,000 Void Source Stone, 80 Arrow Tower, 90 Farmland, and various other items were obtained. The total income from this wave of monsters is as follows. Void Source Crystal, 696,000. Void Source Stone, 673,000. Territory Buildings, 210 Arrow Tower, 196 Farmland, 1 Immortal Pill Pavilion, and various other equipment and miscellaneous items. Looking at the Immortal Pill Pavilion before him, Li Chenxiao felt a surge of excitement. The Immortal Pill Pavilion was also one of the core buildings of the territory. The quality of the Immortal Pill Pavilion was also divided into White Common, Green Excellent, Blue Fine, Purple Outstanding, Orange Epic, and Golden Legend. The pills produced by the Immortal Pill Pavilion are consistent with its level. The success rate of the Immortal Pill Pavilion is determined by its quality. For example, a White Common Quality Immortal Pill Pavilion has a 10% success rate for refining white pills, a 5% success rate for green pills, a 1% success rate for blue pills, a 1 per mil success rate for purple pills, a 1 in 10,000 success rate for orange pills, and a 1 in 100,000 success rate for golden pills. Moreover, refining corresponding quality pills requires corresponding quality materials. For example, using a White Common Quality Immortal Pill Pavilion to refine golden pills would require 100,000 portions of golden quality materials to possibly succeed in refining 1 portion. However, if a Golden Legend Quality Immortal Pill Pavilion is used, 100,000 portions of golden quality materials could likely result in 10,000 successful portions. For every quality level the Immortal Pill Pavilion increases, the success rate increases by 10%. For example, a Green Excellent Quality Immortal Pill Pavilion has a 20% success rate for refining white pills and a 10% success rate for green pills. The pills produced by the Immortal Pill Pavilion are consistent with its level. For example, a Level 1 Immortal Pill Pavilion can only produce Level 1 pills. The quality of pills is also divided into White Common, Green Excellent, Blue Fine, Purple Outstanding, Orange Epic, and Golden Legend. The pills produced by the Immortal Pill Pavilion are consistent with its level and decrease incrementally. For example, a Level 1 Immortal Pill Pavilion can only produce Level 1 pills. A Level 1 pill is 100% effective for Level 1 heroes and troops, only 50% effective for Level 2 heroes and troops, 25% effective for Level 3 heroes and troops, 12.5% effective for Level 4 heroes and troops, and only 6.25% effective for Level 5 heroes and troops. It is ineffective for levels above 5. For higher quality heroes and troops, the effect of lower level pills is halved for each quality level difference. For example, Green Excellent Quality pills have 100% efficacy for green heroes and troops, 50% efficacy for blue heroes and troops, 25% efficacy for purple heroes and troops, and no efficacy for orange heroes and troops. Higher level pills are 100% effective for lower quality heroes and troops. For example, an orange pill restores 50% stamina. It restores 50% stamina for orange quality heroes and troops, 50% stamina for purple quality heroes and troops, 50% stamina for blue quality heroes and troops, and also 50% stamina for green quality and white common quality heroes and troops. For higher quality and higher level heroes, the effect of lower level pills is halved and then halved again. For example, a level 1 white pill can only exert 25% of its efficacy on a level 2 green troops, and so on. His luck these past 2 days was truly exceptional, continuously rewarding him with 2 core territory buildings. The Immortal Pill Pavilion can produce various pills, increasing spirit, increasing constitution, restoring spirit, restoring constitution, increasing resistance, detoxifying, and so on. With pills, he can cope with all sorts of complex environments and enemies. The cost to upgrade the Immortal Pill Pavilion is determined by its quality. White Common. From level 1 to level 2, 100 Void Source Stone are consumed. For every level increase, the consumption is 100 multiplied by the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it is 1000. Green Excellent. From level 1 to level 2, 200 Void Source Stone are consumed. For every level increase, the consumption is 200 multiplied by the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it is 2000. Blue Fine. From level 1 to level 2, 400 Void Source Stone are consumed. For every level increase, the consumption is 400 multiplied by the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it is 4000. Purple Outstanding. From level 1 to level 2, 800 Void Source Stone are consumed. For every level increase, the consumption is 800 multiplied by the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it is 8000. Orange Epic. From level 1 to level 2, 1600 Void Source Stone are consumed. For every level increase, the consumption is 1600 multiplied by the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it is 16,000. Golden Legend. From level 1 to level 2, 3200 Void Source Stone are consumed. For every level increase, the consumption is 3200 multiplied by the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it is 32,000. Thinking of this, Li Chenxiao, completely awake, went directly to the open space north of the territory, took out the Immortal Pill Pavilion, and threw it on the ground. The Immortal Pill Pavilion grew with the wind, and soon a wooden pavilion appeared before him. Immortal Pill Pavilion Plus. Quality. White Common. Level. 10100. Function. Refined Pills. Restriction. Level 1. Li Chenxiao directly clicked the plus, and a divine light flew out, enveloping the Immortal Pill Pavilion. When the divine light dissipated, the Immortal Pill Pavilion before him had completely changed its appearance. Li Chenxiao directly opened the Immortal Pill Pavilion's attribute panel. Immortal Pill Pavilion. Level. 103,200. Quality. Golden Legend. Function. Refined Pills. Characteristics. Pill quality +1, success rate increased by 50%. After being blessed by territory characteristics, pill quantity is 10x10. Looking at the evolved Immortal Pill Pavilion before him, Li Chenxiao, despite being mentally prepared, was still shocked. Both characteristics were top tier. With Li Chenxiao's current Immortal Pill Pavilion quality, refining white common and green excellent quality pills would have a 100% success rate, and their quality would increase by 1 level. That is, white would become green quality, and green quality would become blue quality. Blue quality pills would even have an effect on orange troops and heroes. Although the effect would be minor, it would still be an effect. Blue quality pills were already strategic resources, priceless in the market, and here with Li Chenxiao, as long as he had the pill formula and materials, it would be 100% successful. Even Golden Legend quality pills would have a 60% chance of success, he just didn't know what it would be like if the quality increased by +1. However, currently, Li Chenxiao had neither pill formulas nor materials, so this Immortal Pill Pavilion could only be a decoration. But this was only temporary. After the trial ended, Li Chenxiao could completely trade for some pill formulas and materials to allow it to fulfill its purpose. After finishing with the Immortal Pill Pavilion, Li Chenxiao returned to sleep. Waking up, it was 11 a.m. on the 11th day. After Li Chenxiao finished his meal, he first went to the Reincarnation Hall, spending 200,000 Void Source Stones to upgrade the Reincarnation Hall to level 5. Li Chenxiao then spent 96,000 Void Source Stones to upgrade all 30 Ancient Tomb Sect disciples to level 5. After finishing these tasks, Li Chenxiao went to the Immortal Armory, spending 51,200 Void Source Stones to upgrade the Immortal Armory from level 3 to level 5, and then 288,000 Void Source Stones to upgrade 10 Arrow Towers to level 4. He also spent 317,440 Void Source Crystals to upgrade the troops' exclusive equipment to level 5. Currently, Li Chenxiao has 777,862 Void Source Crystals and 48,854 Void Source Stones remaining. Reincarnation Hall. Type: Temple. Level: 5. Function: Resurrect Heroes, Resurrect Troops. Resurrection Limit: Level 5. Interval: the resurrection interval increases with the quality of the hero and troops. Resurrection Flaw: the first resurrection does not incur a weakening period, subsequent resurrections enter a weakening period, allowing only 90% of overall strength to be exerted. This flaw decreases with level upgrades. If resurrected more than 20 times within one day, the hero or troop's quality will decrease. Ancient Tomb Sect Disciples. Others omitted. Level: 5. Affection: 80. Constitution: 9800. Spirit: 9800. Immortal Armory. Level: 5. Quality: Golden Legend. Function: Craft Equipment. Attribute: exclusive equipment can custom craft exclusive equipment for troops, and the equipment's quality matches the troops' quality. Repeating Crossbow Tower. Level 4, 032,000. Quality: Golden Legend. Attack: 32000 3200 x 10. Defense: 32000 3200 x 10. Attack range: 32,000 meters 3200 x 10. Fire rate: 4 times per second, 0.4 x 10. Durability: 32000 32,000 x 10. Stock: 1000 100 x 10. Skills: Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire unleashes a rapid barrage of arrows at enemies within attack range, firing 20 times per second, 2x10. Cooldown: 1 hour. Frost Tower. Level 4, 032,000. Quality: Golden Legend. Same as Repeating Crossbow Tower. Skills: Freeze. Freeze shoots arrows imbued with a freezing effect at enemies within attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it freezes them for 0.6 x 10 seconds. Explosive Flame Tower. Level 4, 032,000. Quality: Golden Legend. Same as Repeating Crossbow Tower. Skills: Explosive Flame. Explosive Flame shoots arrows imbued with an explosive effect at enemies within attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it explodes, causing secondary damage. Lightning Tower. Level 4, 032,000. Quality: Golden Legend. Same as Repeating Crossbow Tower. Skills: Lightning. Lightning shoots arrows imbued with a lightning effect at enemies within attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it paralyzes them, preventing skill usage. Holy Light Tower. Level 4, 032,000. Quality: Golden Legend. Same as Repeating Crossbow Tower. Skills: Holy Light. Holy Light shoots holy light arrows at enemies within attack range, dealing 2.4 times damage to Dark-type monsters. Illumination Tower. Level 4, 032,000. Quality: Golden Legend. Attack: 0. Defense: 32000 3200 x 10. Illumination range: 32,000 meters 3200 x 10. Durability: 32000 32,000 x 10. Stock: 1000 100 x 10. Skills: Illumination. Illumination. The illuminated area becomes as bright as day, revealing all monsters, including invisible ones. Weakening Tower. Level 4, 032,000. Quality: Golden Legend. Attack: 0. Defense: 32000 3200 x 10. Weakening range: 32,000 meters 3200 x 10. Durability: 32000 32,000 x 10. Stock: 1000 1000ths 100x10. Skills. Weakening. Weakening. All monsters within the weakening range enter a weakened state, reducing their overall strength by 14%. Vine Tower. Level 4, 0 32 thousandths. Quality. Golden Legend. Same as repeating crossbow tower. Skills. Vine. Vine. Shoots vine arrows at enemies within attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it immobilizes them for 0.6x10 seconds. At 3 p.m., the monster invasion arrived as scheduled. This time, it was a group of void mud golems, 1.6 meters tall, covered in mud, and wherever they walked, the ground turned into a swamp. Void mud golem. Level 10. Quality. Blue. Constitution. 220. Spirit. 220. Skills. Mutification, Swamp Art. Mutification. A passive skill of the mud golem, reducing physical damage taken by 50%. Swamp Art. A passive skill of the mud golem, turning the surrounding land into a swamp. In the swamp, constitution and spirit increase by 50%. Looking at the description of the void mud golems, Li Chenxiao was a bit speechless. This void trial was getting more and more abnormal. Now even monsters with 2 passive skills were appearing. It was only the 11th day. For an ordinary lord, just a few of these monsters would force him to withdraw from the void trial. But here, they were a dense, endless horde, still emerging from the mist. The outside had already become a swamp, muddy and impassable. However, for everyone after their upgrades, these were minor issues, just more troublesome. Arrows rained down from the defense towers, and monsters fell in droves. Each defense tower began to exert its power, and the ground trembled. Frost froze the earth. The void mud golems hit by the frost tower were frozen into ice sculptures, shimmering in the sunlight. The repeating crossbow tower shot dense barrages of arrows, pinning the void mud golems one by one to the ground. Explosive flames scorched the earth. The void mud golems hit by the explosive flame tower triggered secondary explosions, the deafening roars sending surrounding void mud golems flying. Lightning paralyzed the earth. The void mud golems hit by the lightning tower flickered with electricity, turning into charcoal amidst crackling sounds. Vines entangled the earth. The arrows shot by the vine tower were like green vipers, fiercely coiling around enemies. In a short while, hundreds of void mud golems had died. Perhaps due to their low intelligence, they had no tactics, coming in dense, endless waves, fearless of death, treading over the corpses of their kin, like a surging tide. Any gaps left by deaths were instantly filled. There were many monsters, so the defense towers maintained continuous output in a cycle. Li Chenxiao ran back and forth between the arrow towers on the city wall, replenishing the stock of each defense tower to prevent them from becoming unusable due to insufficient inventory. He still had hundreds of thousands of void source crystals, so for a while, he didn't have to worry about running out of crystals to replenish stock. Under the continuous bombardment of the defense towers and the coordinated efforts of Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, and the women of Yiwa Palace and Ancient Tomb Sect, the area outside the city wall was piled high with corpses. Time passed by, and night fell, but the illumination tower lit up the area outside the city wall as bright as day. The battle remained fierce, with waves of monsters continuously pouring in. Li Chenxiao and his group hadn't even eaten dinner, fighting from 3 p.m. until now. As the last wave of monsters was defeated and no more emerged from the mist, a piece of information flowed into Li Chenxiao's mind. Battle ended. Starting settlement. Battle settlement. Enemies. 50,000 void mud monsters. Battle result. Complete victory. Battle evaluation. SSS. Basic reward. 100,000 void source stone, 100,000 void source crystal. Additional reward, SSS, 1 million void source stone, 1 million void source crystal, territory building arrow tower X135. Farmland X105, warehouse X1. Looking at the settlement interface before him, Li Chenxiao quickly replenished the arrow tower's inventory, then plopped down on the city wall, not wanting to move at all. It's finally over. Li Chenxiao was still just an ordinary person at the moment, and fighting from 3 p.m. until now had really exhausted him. After this battle, replenishing the arrow tower's inventory consumed over 200,000 void source crystal, a one-time consumption of about 1/3 of the void source crystal. Indeed, war is a battle of resources. Young master. Young master. While Li Chenxiao was resting, Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying flew back from outside. They were both in good condition, even with such intense fighting, they remained spotless, ethereal as immortals. They came to Li Chenxiao's side, one on each side, and helped him up. Yu Yao said, "We'll help you to rest." Li Chenxiao did not object. After they helped him back to his room, he told them to go back and rest, as they had also been tired all day. Lying on the bed, Li Chenxiao didn't even take off his clothes, he just pulled up the covers and fell into a deep sleep. While sleeping, he vaguely smelled a faint fragrance, but Li Chenxiao was too tired to even open his eyes. By the time Li Chenxiao woke up, it was already afternoon. Upon waking, he saw Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying sound asleep, leaning by the bed. Looking at the two beauties before him, Li Chenxiao felt a surge of emotion. They had been very tired yesterday, although their attributes were powerful, fighting tens of thousands of monsters involved dangers that words could not describe. Yet, they still worried about his health, and after he fell asleep, they returned to guard him. Li Chenxiao lay on the bed, quietly watching them. Their long, fine black hair was scattered on either side of their faces, their long eyelashes slightly lowered, and a faint blush appeared on their smooth, jade-like skin. Their exquisite faces were flawless. Li Chenxiao felt a deep sense of peace, a tranquility he had never experienced before. Even after living in the main world for 18 years, Li Chenxiao always felt out of place, with no close friends, living a routine 2.1-line life every day. Only at this moment did Li Chenxiao truly feel integrated into this vast main world. Just as Li Chenxiao was lost in thought, two surprised voices suddenly exclaimed, "Young master, you're awake." Looking at the two faces filled with surprise, Li Chenxiao smiled gently and said, "Yes, you two worked hard. I'm fine, just too tired. Didn't I tell you to go back and rest yesterday? Don't do this again next time. If you wear yourselves out, I'll be very distressed." Yu Yao softly said, "Young master, we are fine. As long as young master is well, that's all that matters." Li Chenxiao chatted with Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying for a while longer, until his stomach rumbled with hunger. Only then did Li Chenxiao go to the dining room with them to eat. After dinner, Li Chenxiao told them to go back and rest, while he went to open the treasure chests that had dropped yesterday. Obtained. 5 Void Source Crystal. Obtained. 6 Void Source Crystal, 3 Void Source Stone. Obtained. 8 Void Source Crystal. Obtained. 3 Void Source Stone. Obtained. 5 Void Source Crystal. Obtained. Arrow Tower, 6 Void Source Crystal. The treasure chests collectively yielded 338,000 Void Source Crystal, 305,666 Void Source Stone, 102 Arrow Towers, 95 Farmland, and various other items. The total income from this wave of monsters is as follows. Void Source Crystal, 1,148,000. Void Source Stone, 1,145,666. Territory Buildings, 237 Arrow Towers, 200 Farmland, 1 Warehouse, and various other equipment and sundries. The other territory buildings were all good, the more the merrier. This warehouse, however, came at a truly opportune moment. During their chat earlier, he and Yu Yao had discussed how, with the increasing number of monsters and treasure chests, there was no longer any space to store them. Currently, all other empty rooms were filled with treasure chests, and many more were piled up in the empty spaces of the territory. Warehouse qualities are divided into white common, green excellent, blue fine, purple outstanding, orange epic, golden legend. A white common warehouse has 10 times the internal space, green excellent has 15 times, blue fine has 20 times, purple outstanding has 30 times, orange epic has 50 times, and golden legend has 100 times. For example, a level 1 warehouse occupies 100 square meters. A white common warehouse can store 1,000 square meters of items, green excellent can store 1,500 square meters, blue fine can store 2,000 square meters, purple outstanding can store 3,000 square meters, orange epic can store 5,000 square meters, and golden legend can store 10,000 square meters of items. Each level increase for a warehouse adds 100x current level. For example, if a warehouse is upgraded to level 5, it occupies 1,500 square meters. A white common warehouse can store 15,000 square meters of items, green excellent can store 22,500 square meters, blue fine can store 30,000 square meters, purple outstanding can store 45,000 square meters, orange epic can store 75,000 square meters, and golden legend can store 150,000 square meters of items. Warehouse upgrade costs are as follows. White common, from level 1 to 2, 100 void source stone consumed. Each level up consumes 100x the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 1000. Green excellent, from level 1 to 2, 200 void source stone consumed. Each level up consumes 200x the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 2000. Blue fine, from level 1 to 2, 400 void source stone consumed. Each level up consumes 400x the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 4000. Purple outstanding, from level 1 to 2, 800 void source stone consumed. Each level up consumes 800x the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 8000. Orange epic, from level 1 to 2, 1600 void source stone consumed. Each level up consumes 1600x the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 16,000. Golden legend, from level 1 to 2, 3,200 void source stone consumed. Each level up consumes 3,200x the sum of current levels. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 32,000. Li Chenxiao arrived at the empty space in the territory and directly tossed the warehouse building model onto the ground. The building model expanded with the wind, and in a short while, a modern warehouse appeared before his eyes. Warehouse Plus. Building type. Warehouse. Quality. White common. Level. 10100. Function. Store items. Footprint. 100 square meters. Storage space. 1000 square meters. Li Chenxiao directly clicked the plus sign. A divine light flew out from Li Chenxiao, enveloping the warehouse. Moments later, the divine light dissipated, and the warehouse before him transformed from a modern warehouse into a XUMI jade gourd floating in the air. The mouth of the jade gourd tilted downwards at a 45-degree angle, and streaks of light flickered on its surface. XUMI jade gourd. Building type. Warehouse. Quality. Golden legend. Level. 103,200. Function. Store items. Footprint. 100 square meters. Storage space. 100,000 square meters 10,000 x 10. Features. Automatic pickup, automatic classification. Looking at the jade gourd before him, Li Chenxiao took out some miscellaneous items of different kinds and placed them on the ground. The mouth of the gourd opened, emitting a stream of light that swept over the scattered items on the ground before instantly flying back, and the gourd's mouth closed. Li Chenxiao looked at the XUMI jade gourd, and a panel appeared in his mind, listing the types and quantities of items stored within the XUMI jade gourd. With just a thought, Li Chenxiao could retrieve anything from inside. As expected of something evolved by the Chaos Azure Lotus, every feature is a particularly practical function for a lord. After finishing these tasks, Li Chenxiao strolled around his territory. He didn't touch the Void Source Crystal or the Void Source Stone. He had originally planned to upgrade his defensive towers to level 5, but then decided against it. Currently, the attack and defense of the defensive towers were strong enough. All monsters were instantly killed. Even yesterday's Mud Golem, which had a 50% physical damage reduction, was instantly killed by a single arrow from a repeating crossbow tower, simply because the power gap was too large. Many buildings in the territory had not yet been upgraded, especially the city wall, which was still at level 1. He needed to raise the city wall's level to match the territory's level as soon as possible, otherwise, problems could easily arise later. The most ideal development for a territory is to upgrade all territory buildings, heroes, and troops to the same level as the territory itself, then upgrade the territory's level, and then upgrade the territory buildings, heroes, and troops again. However, the different qualities of territories, the number of territory buildings, and the different qualities of heroes and troops all mean different amounts of Void Source Stone spent. In other words, these all require time to accumulate. In the early stages, lords typically prioritize upgrading their heroes, troops, arrow towers, and city walls to match the territory's level, and then gradually upgrade other territory buildings, ultimately achieving the most perfect territory development. Li Chenxiao was following this path, but seeing that upgrading the city wall from level 1 to level 2 would cost over 1.5 million Void Source Stone, he hadn't even accumulated enough Void Source Stone for that upgrade yet. One could imagine how difficult it was to upgrade a high-quality territory. Around 8 p.m., Li Chenxiao was lying in bed, recuperating, when he suddenly heard the roar of the arrow towers outside. He immediately got up and ran to the city wall. By the time he reached the city wall, Yu Yao and the others were already below, fighting the monsters. Outside, a dense horde of monsters, like a tide, surged towards the territory from the rolling mist. Ice, explosive flames, lightning, vines, holy light, and arrows rained down upon the monster horde below. Countless monsters charged forward. As soon as they entered the defensive tower's attack range, they fell one by one. Those behind continued to fill the gaps, rushing towards the territory. Void Bat. Level 10. Quality Blue. Physique 220. Spirit 220. Skills Sonic Wave, Virus. Sonic Wave. The Void Bat emits a sharp cry, interfering with enemies. Those with a spirit lower than the Void Bat will be stunned for 1 second. Virus. The Void Bat's teeth carry a virus. Enemies bitten will enter a bleeding state for 3 seconds. Many bats flew directly towards Li Chenxiao, but they were all killed one by Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, and the others mid-flight. The battle continued past 12 a.m. The mist churned, and a group of large trees lumbered towards the territory. Void Treant. Level 10. Quality Blue. Physique 440. Spirit 0. Skills Entangle 80% physical attack immunity. Sure enough, Li Chenxiao's greatest fear had come true. The monsters from day 12 and day 13 had merged. This was not just an increase in numbers, but also cooperation between the monsters. The tree ants waved their branches, coiling towards an ancient tomb sect disciple, who skillfully dodged. The bats also stopped charging head-on and began flying onto the tree ants, massive bodies, attacking alongside them, pushing towards the city wall. Li Chenxiao quickly took out 10 more arrow towers and placed them on the city wall. After evolving, he spent 320,000 Void Source Stone to upgrade them to level 4. This time, the 10 arrow towers consisted of 2 illumination towers, 2 frost towers, 2 explosive flame towers, 2 meteorite towers, and 2 stun towers. Meteorite Tower. Level 4, 032,000. Quality Golden Legend. Attack 32000 3200 x 10. Defense 32000 3200 x 10. Attack range 32,000 meters 3200 x 10. Fire rate 4 shots per second 0.4 x 10. Durability 32000 32,000 x 10. Stock 1,100 x 10. Attached skill Meteorite. Meteorite shoots meteorites at enemies within its frontal attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it causes severe injury, reducing recovery speed. Stun Tower. Level 4, 032,000. Quality Golden Legend. Same as Meteorite Tower. Attached skill Stun. Stun shoots arrows with a stun effect at enemies within its frontal attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it forcibly stuns the enemy for 6 seconds, 0.6 x 10. Yu Yao had also flown back from below the city wall and was guarding Li Chenxiao. Below, only Lin Chaoying led the Yue Palace and ancient tomb sect members in a bloody battle. With the addition of 10 defensive towers, the pressure on everyone below instantly decreased significantly. The 20 defensive towers continuously output damage, their arrows incessantly raining down on the monster horde, causing large numbers of monsters to fall. The moon set and the sun rose, the night quickly passed. After the last wave of monsters was killed, the time had already reached past 10 a.m. 2 pieces of information flowed through Li Chenxiao's mind. Campaign ended. Beginning settlement. Campaign settlement. Enemies 60,000 level 10 void bats. Campaign result. Complete victory. Campaign rating SSS. Basic rewards 120,000 Void Source Stone, 120,000 Void Source Crystal. Additional rewards, SSS, 1.2 million Void Source Stone, 1.2 million Void Source Crystal, Territory Building Arrow Tower X120, Farmland X100, Water Well X10, Barracks X1. Campaign ended. Beginning settlement. Campaign settlement. Enemies, 70,000 Level 10 Void Treants. Campaign result. Complete victory. Campaign rating, SSS. Basic rewards, 140,000 Void Source Stone, 140,000 Void Source Crystal. Additional rewards, SSS, 1.4 million Void Source Stone, 1.4 million Void Source Crystal, Territory Building Arrow Tower X110, Farmland X110, Spirit Herb Garden X1. Outside the city wall, treasure chests covered the ground, glittering under the sunlight. Lin Chaoying and the other women also flew back from below. The monster invasion had ended, so there was no fear of not being able to pick up the treasure chests. Everyone sat on the city wall to rest. This was the first time Li Chenxiao, Yu Yao, and Lin Chaoying had experienced such an intense battle since their descent into the void. They had fought continuously from past 8 p.m. yesterday until past 10 a.m. today, 14 hours of battle without a moment's rest. After resting on the city wall for over an hour, Li Chenxiao and the women all went down below the city wall to start picking up treasure chests. Looking at the ground covered with treasure chests, Li Chenxiao felt a surge of pride. Besides himself, who else could, during the trial period, rely on arrow towers, heroes, and troops to kill hundreds of thousands of enemies without suffering any losses? After collecting everything, Li Chenxiao and the others went to the Jade Nectar Pavilion for a meal. To reward everyone, Li Chenxiao personally cooked a few small dishes. With Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying helping, it wasn't particularly difficult. Soon, the food was ready. Li Chenxiao then took out fruit juice drinks from the warehouse and handed them to everyone. The entire restaurant was filled with laughter and joy, very lively. This gathering lasted until around 3 p.m. before everyone returned to their rooms to rest. Li Chenxiao returned to his room, opened the Xumi Jade Gourd, and opened the treasure chests. Obtained 5 Void Source Crystals. Obtained 6 Void Source Crystals, 3 Void Source Stones. Obtained 8 Void Source Crystals. Obtained 3 Void Source Stones. Obtained 5 Void Source Crystals. Obtained Arrow Tower, 6 Void Source Crystals. The treasure chests yielded a total of 913,000 Void Source Crystals, 890,000 Void Source Stones, 356 Arrow Towers, 325 Farmlands, and Water Well X5. The total gains from this wave of monsters are as follows. Void Source Crystals, 3,773,000. Void Source Stones, 3,750,000. Territory Buildings, 586 Arrow Towers, 535 Farmlands, 15 Water Wells, 1 Barracks, 1 Spirit Herb Garden, and various other equipment and sundries. Due to the intense battle, Li Chenxiao's Void Source Crystals were completely depleted. Li Chenxiao's current resources are as follows. Void Source Crystals, 3,773,000. Void Source Stones, 4,944,520. Territory Buildings, 1,671 Arrow Towers, 1,489 Farmlands, 15 Water Wells, 1 Barracks, 1 Spirit Herb Garden, 2 Attribute Points, and various other equipment and sundries. Looking at the statistics before him, Li Chenxiao was a bit lost in thought. Unknowingly, he had accumulated so many resources. It had only been 13 days of the trial, and the resources gained each day were already over 1 million. With 17 more days of trial, the resources gained daily would only increase. It seemed he could upgrade the city wall to level 5 with some left over, and perhaps even advance his territory to a higher level. There were already nearly 1,700 arrow towers and almost 1,500 farmlands, and the number obtained in the future would only grow. It seemed he wouldn't have to worry about arrow towers and farmlands for a long time. Li Chenxiao looked at the Spirit Herb Garden before him, his heart also stirring with excitement. This was another core building for a lord, or more precisely, a core building for a farming-type lord. Farming-type lords were just a general term, further subdivided into farming lords, herb planting lords, fruit planting lords, and so on. This was because planting herbs and fruits required the two special buildings, spirit herb garden and spirit fruit garden. Without these two buildings, planting herbs and fruits would be a pipe dream. Both the spirit herb garden and spirit fruit garden were relatively rare lord buildings. He had only heard about these two buildings during his studies at school, but he had never seen any lord put them up for auction. This led to a scarcity of herb planting and fruit planting lords. However, as long as one possessed either, they would become a VIP guest of the nation or a large family, as these were strategic resources. Spirit herbs could be refined into pills, and spirit fruits could directly increase the combat power of heroes and troops. Although Donghai City was a third-tier city, its population was over 100 million. Li Chenxiao had lived in Donghai City for 18 years and had never heard of an herb planting lord or fruit planting lord, which showed how rare these two types of lords were. Although Li Chenxiao was a war lord, it did not hinder the simultaneous development of war and farming. It would be perfect if he could get a spirit fruit garden in the future. Spirit herb garden quality: white common, green excellent, blue fine, purple outstanding, orange epic, golden legend. The white common time flow rate is 10 times that of the outside world, green excellent is 15 times, blue fine is 20 times, purple outstanding is 30 times, orange epic is 50 times, and golden legend is 100 times. The quality of herb gardens and fruit gardens could also be improved. Li Chenxiao only knew that free attribute points could be used for improvement, but he didn't know how many free attribute points were needed for the upgrade. Before high school, only general knowledge was taught. These private matters were only accessible in university. A white common upgraded to level 5 has a time flow rate of 20 times the outside world, green excellent to level 5 is 30 times, blue fine to level 5 is 40 times, purple outstanding to level 5 is 60 times, orange epic to level 5 is 100 times, and golden legend to level 5 is 200 times. Spirit herb quality: white common, green excellent, blue fine, purple outstanding, orange epic, golden legend. White common spirit herbs take 1 year, green excellent spirit herbs take 10 years, blue fine spirit herbs take 100 years, purple outstanding spirit herbs take 1000 years, orange epic spirit herbs take 10,000 years, and golden legend spirit herbs take 100,000 years. The above are just ordinary spirit herbs. There are also some special spirit herbs or mutated spirit herbs, whose medicinal effects are much stronger than spirit herbs of the same age. At the same time, some special spirit herbs and mutated spirit herbs have requirements for the quality of the herb garden. For example, if you encounter a spirit herb that requires an herb garden of blue fine quality or above, even if you have an herb garden, you cannot plant it if its quality does not meet the requirement. Spirit herb garden upgrade consumption is as follows. White common. From level 1 to 2, it consumes 100 void source stones. Each level up consumes 100x the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 1000. Green excellent. From level 1 to 2, it consumes 200 void source stones. Each level up consumes 200x the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 2000. Blue fine. From level 1 to 2, it consumes 400 void source stones. Each level up consumes 400x the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 4000. Purple outstanding. From level 1 to 2, it consumes 800 void source stones. Each level up consumes 800x the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 8000. Orange epic. From level 1 to 2, it consumes 1600 void source stones. Each level up consumes 1600x the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 16,000. Golden legend. From level 1 to 2, it consumes 3200 void source stones. Each level up consumes 3200x the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to 5, it's 32,000. Thinking of this, Li Chenxiao felt wide awake. Even after a day of exhaustion, he couldn't resist the excitement in his heart. After getting up, he first spent 1,536,000 void source stones to upgrade the city wall to level 2. Thorn stone wall. Level. 2.096 of a per square meter. Quality, Golden Legend. Function, all-round defense. Defense, 9600-960x10. Durability, 480,000 4800x10. Attribute, Thorn Rebound, Automatic Repair. Thorn Rebound. When attacked by an enemy, 2% of the enemy's attack is converted into true damage and reflected back to the opponent. Automatic Repair. When attacked, 2% of durability is restored per hour. When not attacked, durability recovery per hour is doubled. He came to the open space in the territory again, took out the Spirit Herb Garden, and directly threw the building model of the Spirit Herb Garden onto the ground. The building model expanded with the wind, and in a short while, an ancient and elegant herb garden appeared before him. Spirit Herb Garden Plus. Building type, Herb Garden. Quality, White Common. Level, 1/100. Function, Plant Medicinal Materials. Area, 100 square meters. Internal flow rate, 110. Li Chenxiao directly clicked the plus sign, and a divine light flew out from Li Chenxiao, enveloping the Spirit Herb Garden. After a moment, the divine light dissipated, and the Spirit Herb Garden before him transformed from an ancient herb garden into a garden with various herbs carved on the outer walls and a riot of flowers inside. The plaque above the garden gate also changed to Immortal Herb Garden. Immortal Herb Garden. Building type, Herb Garden. Quality, Golden Legend. Level, 1/3200. Function, Plant Medicinal Materials. Area, 100 square meters. Internal flow rate, 1/1100-110x10. Attributes, Acceleration, built-in heaven and earth. Acceleration, internal flow rate is 10 times faster. Built-in heaven and earth, internal area is 10 times the occupied area. Looking at the attributes of the Immortal Herb Garden, Li Chenxiao was greatly excited. At level 1, the internal flow rate was already 10 times faster, and it would accelerate even more as the level increased. Now, with the territory's attributes, the level 1 Immortal Herb Garden's internal flow rate was already 1100 times faster. After the Immortal Herb Garden's level increased, he would soon be able to harvest a batch of high-quality medicinal materials. The second attribute, built-in heaven and earth, at level 1, meant 10 times the area, which meant he could plant 10 times the medicinal materials, increasing output by 10 times. He wondered if the Immortal Herb Garden, when upgraded, could further enhance its effects when combined with the Spirit Farmland and Full Moon Well. However, he currently had no medicinal seeds, so he could only wait until the trial ended and return to the main world to purchase a batch of medicinal seeds for experimentation. After upgrading the city wall and evolving the Spirit Herb Garden, Li Chenxiao went back to rest. The night quickly passed, and a new day soon descended. Today is the 14th day, the second 7-day mark. The last 7th day brought a boss, so today's monsters are definitely not ordinary. It's just unknown how many bosses will appear today, but it certainly won't be just one. Li Chenxiao also woke up early. After washing up, he, Yu Yao, and Lin Chaoying went to the Jade Nectar Pavilion for breakfast, then arrived early at the city wall to wait. In a short while, the mist outside began to churn, with shadowy figures within. Li Chenxiao knew the monster invasion was about to begin. Sure enough, soon after, a group of lions ran out of the mist. They were much larger than normal lions. The smallest were 3 meters tall and 7 to 8 meters long, while the largest were 5 meters tall and 12 meters long. Their fur also varied, some entirely blue, others entirely red. Void Wolf. Level 10. Quality, Blue. Constitution, 220. Spirit, 220. Skills, Bite, Acceleration. Bite. The Void Wolf bites enemies with its mouth and claws, causing a bleeding status for 5 seconds. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 50% for 5 minutes. Void Ice Wolf. Level 10. Quality, Blue. Constitution, 220. Spirit, 220. Skills, Ice, Acceleration. Ice. Spits ice balls to attack enemies, freezing them for 1 second upon impact. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 50% for 5 minutes. Void Blazefire Wolf. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 220. Spirit 220. Skills Blazefire, Acceleration. Blazefire spits flames to attack enemies, scorching them for 5 seconds upon impact. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 50% for 5 minutes. Void Wolf Elite. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 440. Spirit 440. Skills Bite, Acceleration. Bite. The Void Wolf bites enemies with its mouth and claws, causing a bleeding status for 10 seconds. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 60% for 5 minutes. Void Ice Wolf Elite. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 440. Spirit 440. Skills Ice, Acceleration. Ice spits ice balls to attack enemies, freezing them for 2 seconds upon impact. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 60% for 5 minutes. Void Blazefire Wolf Elite. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 440. Spirit 440. Skills Blazefire, Acceleration. Blazefire spits flames to attack enemies, scorching them for 10 seconds upon impact. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 60% for 5 minutes. Void Wolf Boss. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 660. Spirit 660. Skills Bite, Acceleration. Bite. The Void Wolf bites enemies with its mouth and claws, causing a bleeding status for 15 seconds. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 80% for 5 minutes. Void Ice Wolf Boss. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 660. Spirit 660. Skills Ice, Acceleration. Ice spits ice balls to attack enemies, freezing them for 3 seconds upon impact. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 80% for 5 minutes. Void Blazefire Wolf Boss. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 660. Spirit 660. Skills Blazefire, Acceleration. Blazefire spits flames to attack enemies, scorching them for 15 seconds upon impact. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 80% for 5 minutes. Looking at the wolf pack before him, especially the several taller wolf pack bosses at the back, they were indeed much stronger than yesterday, with 3 boss-level enemies appearing. As soon as the wolf pack entered the arrow tower's range, various arrow towers began to unleash their power. Flames, lightning, freezing, and vines, all sorts of arrows rained down like a sky full of rain, either freezing the wolves in place, entangling them on the spot, or electrocuting them with a bolt of lightning, tearing their flesh and charring their bodies. Seeing this, Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying also led the Yue Palace and ancient tomb sect disciples to fly into the wolf pack and engage in battle. The scene was filled with the whooshing sound of arrows, the delicate shouts of Yu Yao and her companions, and the howling of the wolf pack. Li Chenxiao also began to replenish the stock of various arrow towers. This battle lasted from morning until afternoon. Wolves continued to appear endlessly, and the 3 bosses had already joined the fight, only to quickly become sword fodder for Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying. After another hour of fighting, no more monsters appeared from the mist. Yu Yao and her companions, having finished collecting the treasure chests, returned to Li Chenxiao's side. At this moment, Li Chenxiao was resting on the city wall, covered in sweat and pale-faced. After all, Li Chenxiao was just an ordinary person at this time. Seeing him so exhausted, Yu Yao said, "Young master, let us help you back to rest." Before she finished speaking, she and Lin Chaoying leaned down to help Li Chenxiao. Li Chenxiao waved his hand and said, "The battle is not over yet, it's not time to rest." Yu Yao asked in surprise, "There's more?" I haven't received the battle settlement information yet." Just then, several wolf howls echoed from the mist, and a dense swarm of wolves surged out once more. Leading them were 3 giant wolves, 10 meters tall and over 20 meters long, surrounded by a dozen bosses. The rest were countless elite wolves. The wolf pack, led by the pack leaders, charged from the mist towards the territory. Void Wolf Leader. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 880. Spirit 880. Skills Bite, Acceleration. Bite. The Void Wolf bites enemies with its mouth and claws, causing a bleeding status for 20 seconds. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 100% for 5 minutes. Void Ice Wolf Leader. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 880. Spirit 880. Skills Ice, Acceleration. Ice. Spits ice balls to attack enemies, freezing them for 4 seconds upon impact. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 100% for 5 minutes. Void Blazefire Wolf Leader. Level 10. Quality Blue. Constitution 880. Spirit 880. Skills Blazefire, Acceleration. Blazefire. Spits flames to attack enemies, scorching them for 20 seconds upon impact. Acceleration. The Void Wolf activates acceleration while running, increasing its speed by 100% for 5 minutes. Leader Monsters. A look of solemnity flashed in Li Chenxiao's eyes. Have leader monsters already appeared? It's only the 14th day. At this rate of increase, there will definitely be a boss on the last day. Currently, the monsters' quality is blue, but it's unknown what their quality will be at the end of the trial. If it reaches Golden Legend, even with Li Chenxiao's cheating level, he might not be able to pass, mainly because there are too many monsters. While Li Chenxiao was lost in thought, Yu Yao and Lin Chao and her companions flew down from the city wall again, rushing towards the monsters. Night soon descended, and the battle outside was still ongoing. The illumination tower lit up the area as brightly as day. The ground outside was covered with the corpses of lions that hadn't yet turned into treasure chests. The 3 leaders had also been killed by Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying. Lions continued to rush out from the mist, though their numbers were greatly reduced. After another 2 hours, as the last lion was killed by a single sword strike from Yu Yao, a message flashed in Li Chenxiao's mind. Battle ended. Starting settlement. Battle settlement. Enemies. 50,000 level 10 Void Wolves, 50,000 level 10 Void Frost Wolves, 50,000 level 10 Fiery Wolves, 20,000 level 10 Void Wolf Elites, 20,000 level 10 Void Frost Wolf Elites, 20,000 level 10 Fiery Wolf Elites, 5 level 10 Void Wolf Pack Leaders, 5 level 10 Void Frost Wolf Pack Leaders, 5 level 10 Void Fiery Wolf Pack Leaders, 1 level 10 Void Wolf Leader, 1 level 10 Void Frost Wolf Leader, 1 level 10 Void Fiery Wolf Leader. Battle Result. Complete Victory. Battle Rating. SSS. Basic Rewards. 430,000 Void Source Stones, 430,000 Void Source Crystals. Additional Rewards. SSS. 4,300,000 Void Source Stones, 4,300,000 Void Source Crystals. Territory Buildings. Arrow Tower X400, Farmland X350, Waterwell X50, Spirit Fruit Garden X1. Looking at the battle completion message, Li Chenxiao disregarded his image and plopped down on the city wall, gasping for breath. He felt pain all over his body, he was simply too tired. Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying also flew back from below to Li Chenxiao's side. Seeing his appearance, a trace of concern involuntarily showed in their eyes. Yu Yao asked, "Young master, is today's monster invasion over?" "Yes, today's monster invasion is over. We'll help you back to rest," Yu Yao said, and she and Lin Chaoying bent down to help Li Chenxiao. This time, Li Chenxiao did not refuse and was helped back to rest by Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying. By the time Li Chenxiao woke up, it was already past 10 a.m. the next day. He had truly enjoyed that sleep, having slept for over 10 hours. Li Chenxiao stretched in bed and began to get up. He had fought all day yesterday and hadn't eaten properly, only snatching a quick bite. Now his stomach felt a bit hungry. After washing up, he went to the Jade Nectar Pavilion to eat. When he arrived, there was no one inside. Li Chenxiao understood, everyone was exhausted from yesterday and probably still resting. It wasn't mealtime either. Li Chenxiao went to the kitchen, quickly made something for himself, and began to eat. After eating, Li Chenxiao first went to the Xumi Jade Gourd to check yesterday's treasure chests. Upon opening it, he saw that only the leader's treasure chests remained unopened. Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying had already opened all the other treasure chests, knowing he liked opening them, so they had left the last 3 leaders' treasure chests for him. Li Chenxiao took out the leader's treasure chests, excitedly rubbing his hands. This was his first time opening a leader's treasure chest, and it was the highest quality treasure chest Li Chenxiao had opened so far. He hoped to get some good items. Open. Li Chenxiao opened the 3 leaders' treasure chests, which contained only 4 items in total: a necklace, 15 attribute points, a magic skill book, and a warrior skill book. Looking at the items that appeared before him, Li Chenxiao's mood was a bit down. 3 leaders only yielded these few items, not much better than the last time's pack leaders. He even began to doubt if he was suited for opening treasure chests. The leaders' treasure chests hadn't yielded as well as the rewards. However, Li Chenxiao quickly adjusted his mindset. Even a mosquito is meat, no matter how small, and these weren't completely useless. The 15 attribute points were very useful. The other 2 skill books could be exchanged for resources. The last item was the necklace. Li Chenxiao took out the necklace and examined it. Emerald Heart. Level 1. Quality: Blue. Attributes: Constitution +4, Spirit +4. Special properties: Emerald Bodyguard, Step on Air. Emerald Bodyguard. When attacked, an emerald shield will appear to resist damage. The damage blocked is current Constitution plus Spirit. Cooldown: 1 hour. Step on Air. Allows one to walk in the air as if on solid ground. Duration: 1 hour. Cooldown: 1 day. Li Chenxiao looked at the equipment's attributes and thought they were decent. It was almost identical to the necklace he gave Yu Yao last time, only the special properties were different. Yu Yao's had water evasion, while this one had step on air. It would be perfect to give to Lin Chaoying. Li Chenxiao directly spent 800 void source crystals to upgrade it to level 5. The other wolf pack leaders had dropped 5 attribute points. After putting away the Emerald Heart, Li Chenxiao looked at yesterday's gains. From treasure chests, a total of 1,680,000 void source crystals, 1,600,000 void source stones, 450 arrow towers, 400 farmlands, 20 water wells, 1 Emerald Heart, 20 attribute points, and several other equipment and skill books were obtained. Yesterday's total harvest was: void source crystals, 6,410,000. Void source stones, 6,330,000. Territory buildings, 850 arrow towers, 750 farmlands, 70 water wells, 1 spirit fruit garden, 1 emerald heart, 20 attribute points, and several other equipment, skill books, and miscellaneous items. Looking at the resources dropped by the monsters yesterday, Li Chenxiao was filled with excitement. As expected of the second cycle, the monsters were numerous and the quality of drops was good. This was the first time Li Chenxiao had seen monsters drop so many resources at once. Coupled with his stored resources, Li Chenxiao's next plan could now be realized. After deducting the more than 1 million void source crystals consumed by the monster invasion, Li Chenxiao's current resources are as follows. Void source crystals, 9 million. Void source stones, 9,738,520. Territory buildings, 2,521 arrow towers, 2,239 farmlands, 85 water wells, 1 barracks, 1 spirit fruit garden, 1 emerald heart, 22 attribute points, and several other equipment, skill books, and miscellaneous items. Li Chenxiao first went to the city wall, spending 4,608,000 void source stones to upgrade the city wall to level 3, and then spent 640,000 void source stones to upgrade 20 arrow towers to level 5. Thorn stone wall. Level 3, 190 seconds of a per square meter. Quality: Golden Legend. Function: all-round protection. Defense: 19200-1920x10. Durability: 960,000 96,000 x 10. Special properties: Thorn Reflection, automatic repair. Thorn Reflection. When attacked by an enemy, 3% of the enemy's attack is converted into true damage and reflected back to the opponent. Automatic repair. When attacked, recovers 3% durability per hour. When not attacked, durability recovery doubles per hour. Repeating crossbow tower. Level 5, 048,000. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 48000, 4800 x 10. Defense. 48000, 4800 x 10. Attack range. 48,000 meters, 4800 x 10. Fire rate. 5 shots per second, 0.5 x 10. Durability. 48000, 48,000 x 10. Ammunition. 1500 1500, 150 x 10. Attached skill. Rapid fire. Rapid fire. Launches a rapid volley at enemies within the forward attack range, firing 25 shots per second, 2.5 x 10. Cooldown. 1 hour. Frost Tower. Level 5, 048,000. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 48000, 4800 x 10. Defense. 48000, 4800 x 10. Attack range. 48000, 4800 x 10. Fire rate. 5 shots per second, 0.5 x 10. Durability. 48000, 48,000 x 10. Ammunition. 1500 1500, 150 x 10. Attached skill. Freeze. Freeze. Fires arrows with a freezing effect at enemies within the forward attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it will freeze the enemy for 0.7 x 10 seconds. Explosive Flame Tower. Level 5, 048,000. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 48000, 4800 x 10. Defense. 48000, 4800 x 10. Attack range. 48,000 meters, 4800 x 10. Rate of fire. 5 shots per second, 0.5 x 10. Durability. 48000, 48,000 x 10. Inventory. 1500 1500, 150 x 10. Skill. Explosive Flame. Explosive Flame. Fires arrows with explosive effects at enemies within the forward attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it explodes, causing secondary damage. Lightning Tower. Level 5, 048,000. Quality. Golden Legend. Same as Explosive Flame Tower. Skill. Lightning. Lightning. Fires arrows with lightning effects at enemies within the forward attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, the enemy enters a paralyzed state and cannot use skills. Holy Light Tower. Level 5, 048,000. Quality. Golden Legend. Same as Explosive Flame Tower. Skill. Holy Light. Holy Light. Fires holy light arrows at enemies within the forward attack range, dealing 2.5 times damage to Dark-type monsters. Illumination Tower. Level 5, 048,000. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 0. Defense. 48000, 4800 x 10. Illumination range. 48,000 meters, 4800 x 10. Durability. 48000, 48,000 x 10. Inventory. 1500 1500, 150 x 10. Within the illumination range, it is as bright as day, and all monsters, including stealthy ones, will reveal their forms. Weakening Tower. Level 5, 048,000. Quality. Golden Legend. Attack. 0. Defense. 4800, 48,000 x 10. Weakening range. 48,000 meters, 4800 x 10. Durability. 48000, 48,000 x 10. Inventory. 1500 1500, 150 x 10. All monsters within the weakening range enter a weakened state, reducing their overall strength by 15%. Vine Tower. Level 5, 048,000. Quality. Golden Legend. Same as Explosive Flame Tower. Skill. Vine. Vine. Fires vine arrows at enemies within the forward attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it immobilizes the enemy for 0.7 x 10 seconds. Meteorite Tower. Level 5, 048,000. Quality, Golden Legend. Same as Explosive Flame Tower. Skill, Meteorite. Meteorite fires meteorites at enemies within the forward attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it causes severe injury, reducing recovery speed. Dizzying Tower. Level 5, 048 thousandths. Quality, Golden Legend. Same as Explosive Flame Tower. Skill, Dizzy. Dizzy fires arrows with dizzying effects at enemies within the forward attack range. Upon hitting an enemy, it forcibly stuns the enemy for 7 seconds, 0.7 x 10. Looking at the attributes of the city wall and the defense towers, Li Chenxiao nodded in satisfaction. Especially the defense towers, no monster had yet been able to attack the city wall before being killed. This was all thanks to Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, and the defense towers. With this upgrade, the attack range, and inventory of the defense towers all increased by 50%, which would allow them to better cope with monster invasions this time. After finishing these tasks, Li Chenxiao went to the barracks to recruit troops. He felt that 60 people were a bit insufficient. Although there were no casualties in yesterday's monster invasion, there were moments of great danger. It was thanks to the support of Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying, otherwise, there would surely have been casualties. Therefore, Li Chenxiao planned to recruit more troops to deal with monster invasions. This time, Li Chenxiao brought a month's supply for 200 people into the Void Trial. Now, he had only used about 1/6 of it, so he could completely recruit more troops to deal with future monster invasions. Li Chenxiao first spent 6,400 Void Source Stone to upgrade the Yiwa Palace Barracks and the Ancient Tomb Sect Barracks to Level 2. Yiwa Palace. Type. Barracks. Level 2. 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Function. Can recruit Yiwa Palace disciples from any time and space. Troops quantity. 100 300ths 30x10. Recruitment cost. 320 person. Ancient Tomb Sect. Type. Barracks. Level 2. 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Function. Can recruit Ancient Tomb Sect disciples from any time and space. Troops quantity. 100 300ths 30x10. Recruitment cost. 320 person. He then spent another 44,800 Void Source Crystal to summon 70 Yiwa Palace disciples and 70 Ancient Tomb Sect disciples, and spent 896,000 Void Source Stone to upgrade all of them to level 5. He led them to the Immortal Armory and spent another 896,000 Void Source Crystal at the Immortal Armory to craft a set of equipment of the same level for each of them. Currently, Li Chenxiao had 100 Yiwa Palace disciples and 100 Ancient Tomb Sect disciples, so he would not have to worry about manpower for the next monster invasion. He then spent 3,200 Void Source Stone to upgrade Lingxiao Palace to level 2, otherwise, there would not be enough rooms. Lingxiao Palace. Type. Apartment. Level 2, 09,600. Quality. Golden Legend. Functions. Residence, recovery speed increased by 2 times, cultivation speed increased by 2 times. Rooms, 330x10. After all this, Li Chenxiao's remaining resources were Void Source Stone, 2,846,400. Void Source Crystal, 8,797,720. Looking at the remaining resources, the Void Source Stone was no longer enough to upgrade the city wall, so he could only store it for now. It had been a long time since he had drawn a hero, and now he had enough Void Source Crystal resources, so he could go for a good draw. What he needed to do now was to take the newly recruited Yiwa Palace disciples and Ancient Tomb Sect disciples to Yu Yao and the others, and let them arrange their next tasks first. Thinking of this, Li Chenxiao led the 140 newly recruited people to find Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying. On the way, Li Chenxiao introduced the current situation of the territory to the newly recruited beauties. These beauties from Yiwa Palace and Ancient Tomb Sect also asked questions from time to time, and the journey was lively with their chatter. Halfway there, he saw Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying walking towards them hand in hand. As they got closer, Yu Yao smiled and said to Lin Chaoying, "Chaoying, I told you, there's no need to worry about the young master. Look how carefree he is." "No, I didn't worry at all." Yu Yao, Don't talk nonsense, Lin Chaoying said. Then, ignoring Li Chenxiao and the others nearby, she began to tickle Yu Yao. Watching the two playfully bicker, Li Chenxiao also felt a burst of amusement. Both of them tended to be cold and aloof beauties, so it was rare to see them like this. However, this was a good thing, indicating that they were getting along very well. If the two were at loggerheads every day, that's when Li Chenxiao would have a headache. Li Chenxiao looked at the two still playfully bickering and said with a smile, I saw that you two were too tired from yesterday's battle, so I went to get you some more sisters. You two should settle them in first, and after that, I'll take you to summon new heroes. Hearing Li Chenxiao's words, Yu Yao and the others stopped their playful bickering, and a hint of joy appeared on their faces as they said in unison, Young master, is that true? Yes, yes, when have I ever lied to you? Go arrange it quickly, I'll wait for you here. Young master, then we'll go arrange it now, Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying said, then left with the Yue Palace disciples and ancient tomb sect disciples. During this time, Li Chenxiao went to the side of the Spirit Herb Garden and took out the most important territory building from yesterday's monster invasion, the Spirit Fruit Garden. Spirit Fruit Garden quality: White Common, Green Excellent, Blue Fine, Purple Outstanding, Orange Epic, Golden Legend. A white common spirit fruit garden has a time flow rate 10 times that of the outside world. A green excellent one has a time flow rate 15 times that of the outside world. A blue fine one has a time flow rate 20 times that of the outside world. A purple outstanding one has a time flow rate 30 times that of the outside world. An orange epic one has a time flow rate 50 times that of the outside world. And a golden legend one has a time flow rate 100 times that of the outside world. The increase in time flow rate for upgrading a spirit fruit garden is the same as for a spirit herb garden. Spirit fruit quality: White Common, Green Excellent, Blue Fine, Purple Outstanding, Orange Epic, Golden Legend. The quality of spirit fruits is somewhat similar to, yet different from, the quality of spirit herbs. For example, a spirit herb doesn't have a concept of ripeness. Theoretically, spirit herbs have no growth year limit and can continue to grow indefinitely if not harvested. If harvested after 1,000 years, it's purple outstanding; after 10,000 years, it's orange epic; after 1 year, it's a common spirit herb. However, spirit fruits calculate their quality based on their year of maturity, because they will spoil if not harvested after ripening. White common spirit fruits ripen once every 1 year. Green excellent spirit fruits ripen once every 10 years. Blue fine spirit fruits ripen once every 100 years. Purple outstanding spirit fruits ripen once every 1,000 years. Orange epic spirit fruits ripen once every 10,000 years. And golden legend spirit fruits ripen once every 100,000 years. The quality of spirit fruits is determined by the fruit tree. Fruit tree quality is divided into White Common, Green Excellent, Blue Fine, Purple Outstanding, Orange Epic, Golden Legend. The time it takes for a fruit tree to grow from a sapling to maturity and bear fruit varies depending on its quality. A white common fruit tree takes 10 years to grow to maturity, a green excellent fruit tree takes 100 years, a blue fine fruit tree takes 1,000 years, a purple outstanding fruit tree takes 10,000 years, an orange epic fruit tree takes 100,000 years, and a golden legend fruit tree takes 1,000,000 years. This means that a white common fruit tree requires 11 years to harvest its first batch of spirit fruits, and thereafter can harvest a batch every 1 year. A green excellent fruit tree requires 110 years to harvest its first batch of spirit fruits, and thereafter can harvest a batch every 10 years. A blue fine fruit tree requires 1,100 years to harvest its first batch of spirit fruits, and thereafter can harvest a batch every 100 years. A purple outstanding fruit tree requires 11,000 years to harvest its first batch of spirit fruits, and thereafter can harvest a batch every 1,000 years. An orange epic fruit tree requires 110,000 years to harvest its first batch of spirit fruits, and thereafter can harvest a batch every 10,000 years. A golden legend fruit tree requires 1,100,000 years to harvest its first batch of spirit fruits, and thereafter can harvest a batch every 100,000 years. There is another method, which is to buy mature fruit trees, but this is highly impractical. Mature white and green fruit trees can still be bought, but blue ones are strategic resources, rarely sold. Purple and above are almost never available for sale. The above only describes ordinary spirit fruit trees. There are also special or mutated spirit fruit trees, which bear spirit fruits whose effects are much stronger than those of the same year, and some special or mutated spirit fruit trees also have requirements for the quality of the fruit garden. For example, if you encounter a spirit fruit tree that requires a fruit garden of blue quality or higher, even if you have a fruit garden, you won't be able to plant it if its quality doesn't meet the requirements. Spirit fruit garden upgrade consumption is as follows. White common. From level 1 to level 2, it consumes 100 void source stone. Each subsequent level consumes 100 multiplied by the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it's 1000. Green excellent. From level 1 to level 2, it consumes 200 void source stone. Each subsequent level consumes 200 multiplied by the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it's 2000. Blue fine. From level 1 to level 2, it consumes 400 void source stone. Each subsequent level consumes 400 multiplied by the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it's 4000. Purple outstanding. From level 1 to level 2, it consumes 800 void source stone. Each subsequent level consumes 800 multiplied by the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it's 8000. Orange epic. From level 1 to level 2, it consumes 1600 void source stone. Each subsequent level consumes 1600 multiplied by the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it's 16,000. Golden legend. From level 1 to level 2, it consumes 3200 void source stone. Each subsequent level consumes 3200 multiplied by the sum of the current level. For example, from level 4 to level 5, it's 32,000. Li Chenxiao took out the spirit fruit garden, directly threw the building model of the spirit fruit garden onto the ground, and watched as the building model expanded with the wind. In a short while, an antique fruit garden, similar to the spirit herb garden, appeared before his eyes. Spirit fruit garden plus. Building type. Fruit garden. Quality. White common. Level. 1/100. Function. Plant fruit trees. Occupied area. 100 square meters. Internal flow rate. 110. Li Chenxiao directly clicked the plus sign, and a divine light flew out from his body, enveloping the spirit fruit garden. After a moment, the divine light dissipated, and the spirit fruit garden before him transformed from an antique fruit garden into a garden where the outer walls were carved with various fruit trees and the interior was filled with blooming flowers. The plaque at the entrance of the garden also changed to Immortal Fruit Garden. Immortal Fruit Garden. Building type. Fruit garden. Quality. Golden legend. Level. 103,200. Function. Plant fruit trees. Occupied area. 100 square meters. Internal flow rate. 1100 110 x 10. Characteristics. Acceleration. Built-in universe. Acceleration. Internal flow rate is 10 times faster. Built-in universe. Internal area is 10 times the occupied area. Looking at the characteristics, which were identical to the Immortal Herb Garden, Li Chenxiao inwardly complained that other than the name, it was almost exactly the same as the Immortal Herb Garden, even the characteristics were identical. But then again, he had to admit that there were no other characteristics more practical than these two. These two characteristics were more important to a herb garden and fruit garden than any other. With these two characteristics, it meant that Li Chenxiao could mass-produce spirit herbs and spirit fruits, which would always be profitable whether he used them himself or exchanged them for resources. After finishing with the Immortal Fruit Garden, Li Chenxiao returned to the agreed-upon spot to wait for Yu Yao and the others. Soon after, he saw Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying flying towards him, instantly landing in front of Li Chenxiao. Looking at the two somewhat anxious women, Li Chenxiao couldn't help but smile, saying with a grin, "Slow down, this depends on fate." When Yu Yao and the others heard Li Chenxiao say this, they realized they were too impatient. Yu Yao couldn't help but say sweetly, "We know, but we just can't help it." She even stuck out her tongue at Li Chenxiao after speaking. Watching Yu Yao become increasingly playful, Li Chenxiao couldn't help but smile, then took out the necklace he had just opened and handed it to Lin Chaoying, saying, "Chaoying, since you joined the territory, I haven't given you anything yet. This is a necklace I just opened, it's for you. I hope you don't dislike it. Lin Chaoying looked at the necklace handed to her and said in surprise, this is for me. I like everything young master gives me. She then glanced at Yu Yao beside her and said, young master, please give it to sister Yu Yao first. Give me one next time you get one. Seeing Lin Chaoying still declining, Yu Yao took the necklace from Li Chenxiao's hand and placed it in Lin Chaoying's hand, saying, Chaoying, please accept it. Before you came, young master had already given me a necklace. She then took out the necklace from her neck to show Lin Chaoying. Lin Chaoying looked at the necklace on Yu Yao's neck, then at Li Chenxiao, and finally, with a blush, took the necklace and put it on her neck, saying, thank you, young master, thank you, sister Yu Yao. At the same time, a piece of information flowed through Li Chenxiao's mind. Lin Chaoying is grateful for the gift from the Lord. Affection +2. Current affection, 90. Through their time together, Yu Yao's affection had already reached 95, and Lin Chaoying's affection had just reached 90. Li Chenxiao brought Yu Yao and the others to Myriad Realms Goddess Palace. This time, Li Chenxiao planned to keep 5 million Void Source Crystal as backup and use the remaining 3 million plus to summon heroes. After the three of them sat down, Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying both looked at Li Chenxiao's actions with curiosity. Yu Yao hadn't been present during the last summoning, so this was the first time both Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying had seen Li Chenxiao summon a hero. Li Chenxiao first took out 1000 Void Source Crystal and placed them on the table. He decided to try his luck with a low-level summon first. Li Chenxiao's heart stirred, and he chose to summon. The next moment, a colorful scroll appeared above the table. The scroll slowly opened, revealing figures one by one. Summoning. The figures in the scroll began to glow and spin rapidly. Soon, the light and shadows stopped. Prompt. Obtained 1 bag of Da-mi rice. Li Chenxiao saw the bag of Da-mi rice on the table and continued to summon. -1000. After more than 100 consecutive attempts, the scroll kept flashing, but there was nothing good, just Da-mi rice or vegetables, with an occasional white skill book. After spending over 100,000 Void Source Crystal, he only got these items. Li Chenxiao immediately initiated a high-level summon. Void Source Crystal -10,000. Prompt. Obtained, satin embroidered skirt. Looking at the skirt on the table in front of him, Li Chenxiao said nothing and continued to invest Void Source Crystal for high-level summons. -10,000. Prompt. Obtained, Moon Shadow Sword. -10,000. Prompt. Obtained, Jade Maiden Sword. -10,000. Prompt. Obtained, Fire Wall Spell. -10,000. Prompt. Obtained, Whirlwind Slash. When Li Chenxiao's Void Source Crystal had dwindled to 5 million, suddenly, a figure appeared opposite him. Obtained hero Madame Lu. In an instant, the scroll disappeared, and a woman slowly appeared on the chair opposite Li Chenxiao. She wore a headscarf, an apron around her waist, and simple clothes that could not hide her stunning beauty. Her eyes were tightly closed as she received information from the Lord Era. Li Chenxiao thought for a moment but couldn't recall who Madame Lu was, so he simply opened Madame Lu's attribute panel. Madame Lu. Identity. Hero. Race. Human. Quality. Golden Legend. Level. 101,600. Affection. 70. Bloodline. God of Cooking Bloodline +1. Talent. Culinary Mastery +1. Exclusive Troops. Imperial Chefs. Bond. 6 Beauties of the God of Cooking. Physique. 1600 Base Attribute 32x5x10. Spirit. 1600 Base Attribute 32x5x10. God of Cooking Bloodline, +1. Bloodline Quality. Golden Legend, Initial 1, for every +1 in quality, ability doubles, effect duration doubles. For example, God of Cooking Bloodline, +5, effect duration increases by 5 times. Taking clear broth noodles as an example, the attributes Li Chenxiao makes are as follows. Clear broth noodles. Type. Delicacy. Quality. Gray. Attributes. Satiety, Physique and Spirit +5, 0.5x10, duration within 10 hours, 1 by 10 hours. The attributes Madame Lu makes are as follows. Same as above. Attributes. Satiety, physique and spirit plus 5, 0.5 x 10, duration within 30 hours, 3 by 10 hours. The effect Li Chenxiao makes currently lasts for 1 hour. Madame Lu's currently lasts for 2 hours, plus the bloodline plus 1, Madame Lu's can last for 3 hours, and with the territory effect, it can last for 30 hours. Culinary mastery, plus 1. Talent quality. Golden Legend, initial 1, for every plus 1 in quality, ability doubles, the effect of the dishes made doubles. For example, culinary mastery, plus 5, the effect of the dishes made increases by 5 times. Again, taking clear broth noodles as an example, the attributes Li Chenxiao makes are as follows. Same as above. Attributes. Satiety, physique and spirit plus 5, 0.5 x 10, duration within 10 hours, 1 by 10 hours. The attributes Madame Lu makes are as follows. Same as above. Attributes. Satiety, physique and spirit plus 1 5, 1.5 x 10, duration within 10 hours, 1 by 10 hours. The effect Li Chenxiao currently makes is physique and spirit plus 0.5, Madame Lu's currently makes 1, plus the bloodline plus 1, Madame Lu's makes 1.5, and with the territory bonus, it becomes 15, directly increasing the physique and spirit by 3 times. Imperial Chefs. Troops quality. Golden Legend. Summon Imperial Chefs from any time and space. 6 Beauties of the God of Cooking. Bond quality. Golden Legend. Bond attributes. 6 Beauties of the God of Cooking. For each additional person, the effect and effect duration double. The bond only activates when 2 or more people are present simultaneously. When Madame Lu, Shan Zhu, Fan Zheng, Song Wusao, Dong Xiaowen, and Xiao Marin are all present simultaneously, the effect and effect duration increase by 6 times on top of the original basis. Looking at Madame Lu's attribute panel, she is purely a support character, without any attack skills. However, her support effect is terrifying. Once her bloodline and talent reach level 9, the effect and duration of the dishes she makes will both be extended by 9 times. Plus, with other heroes summoned later, the effect and duration can be increased by a maximum of 15 times, which is a very terrifying statistic. Seeing Li Chenxiao's surprised expression, Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying asked, "Young master, do you know her?" Li Chenxiao smiled and said, I know a little. We'll be in for a treat from now on. Yu Yao smiled and said, "It seems this sister is also a great chef. Young master, why don't you tell us about her background?" Her name is Madame Lu. She was a female chef in the palace of Emperor Gaozong of the Southern Song dynasty, in charge of the emperor's imperial meals. Madame Lu's culinary skills were superb. The palace stipulated that the 5th rank official in charge of imperial food should be a male chef, but she was exceptionally appointed due to her excellent cooking. People respectfully called her Shangqi Madame Lu, and she was also the first famous female imperial chef. Li Chenxiao also introduced Madame Lu's history, bloodline, and talent to Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying. Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying were also surprised after hearing it. Yu Yao smiled and said, "From what young master just said, I guess this sister is a great chef, but I didn't expect her to be an imperial chef. We have never eaten palace food before. Judging by her current attire, she probably hasn't entered the palace to become an imperial chef yet." Yu Yao paused after speaking, then continued, "Although Madame Lu is not as combat-oriented as Chaoying and I, her role for the territory is no less significant than ours. With her, our territory's combat strength will increase exponentially. Moreover, even though she isn't skilled in combat, her exceptionally high attributes are not just for show. In future battles, she will stay by the young master's side and can also help replenish the arrow tower's inventory. With her there, we will be at ease." Li Chenxiao and Lin Chaoying both nodded, hearing Yu Yao's words. As Li Chenxiao, Yu Yao, and Lin Chaoying were chatting, the woman in the opposite chair slowly opened her eyes. A pair of beautiful eyes looked over, then she stood up and bowed to Li Chenxiao, Yu Yao, and Lin Chaoying, saying, "Madame Lu of Southern Song, greetings, Lord, greetings, 2 elder sisters." Li Chenxiao smiled and said, "Rise, there's no need for such formality. Welcome, Madame Lu, to our big family. These 2 are Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying, also summoned heroes like you. From now on, you can call me young master, just like them." After Li Chenxiao finished speaking, Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying had already stood up, pulling Madame Lu over and saying, "Welcome, little sister. The young master is very easygoing, you'll know once you spend more time with him." Madame Lu softly replied, Sister Yu Yao and Sister Chaoying, I understand." Li Chenxiao then took out 2 sets of clothes he had just won from the lottery and handed them to Madame Lu, saying, "These 2 sets of clothes are for you. You can wear them normally from now on." Madame Lu looked at the 2 exquisite sets of clothes Li Chenxiao handed her, surprised, and asked, "These are for me?" Yu Yao smiled and said, "Little sister, if the young master gives them to you, just accept them." Hearing Yu Yao say this, Madame Lu took the clothes and said to Li Chenxiao, "Thank you, young master." A piece of information simultaneously flowed through Li Chenxiao's mind. Madame Lu is grateful for the Lord's care, affection +2, current affection 72. Looking at the 5 million void source crystals remaining in his hand, Li Chenxiao knew that this lottery journey was over, so he took Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, and Madame Lu back. This objective was achieved, although he didn't draw Lian Xing or other ancient tomb sect female heroes. But drawing itself relies on luck. Good luck might mean drawing in 1 try, while bad luck might mean not drawing even after hundreds or thousands of tries. Li Chenxiao, Yu Yao, and Lin Chaoying also understood the nature of the lottery and were mentally prepared. Not drawing this time didn't cause much disappointment. Unfortunately, the territory's level had not yet reached level 10, preventing the construction of a 3rd barracks, and thus the inability to recruit Madame Lu's exclusive troops, Imperial Chefs. Just as he was feeling regretful, a piece of information flowed through Li Chenxiao's mind. Madame Lu, as a special hero, is not restricted by territory level. As long as there is a barracks, Madame Lu's exclusive troops can be recruited directly. Seeing this information, Li Chenxiao felt a surge of excitement, meaning he had one more type of troops than others, and it was such a powerful support troops. Li Chenxiao brought Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, and Madame Lu to the vicinity of the Yue Palace barracks. Seeing Li Chenxiao bring them here, Yu Yao and the others looked at him with surprise and asked, "Young master, why did you bring us here? Didn't we just recruit sisters from Yue Palace and ancient tomb sect? Are we going to recruit more?" Li Chenxiao smiled and said, "The Lord's heart just gave me a hint. Madame Lu, as a special hero, her exclusive troops are not restricted by territory level, they can be recruited as long as there is a barracks." Hearing Li Chenxiao say this, Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, and Madame Lu also showed joyful expressions, especially Madame Lu, who was extremely excited. On the way here, Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying had already explained a lot to her, and she was also looking forward to her future sisters. She wondered how she would train them all in the future. Li Chenxiao first took out the barracks, threw it on the ground, and saw the barracks grow with the wind, becoming larger and larger. In a short while, it turned into a small camp and landed on the open space. Barracks Plus. Level 10100s. Quality White. Function Recruit troops. Li Chenxiao clicked on the plus sign. A divine light shot from the Chaos Azure Lotus in his mind towards the barracks. After the divine light dissipated, the barracks transformed. What appeared before him was a barracks similar to ancient China, imbued with an aura of iron and blood, solemnity, and ancient years. Barracks Plus. Level 103,200s. Quality Golden Legend. Function Recruit troops. Li Chenxiao looked at the Golden Legend quality barracks before him and said, "Madame Lu, give me your exclusive Imperial Chef's token." "Yes, young master," Madame Lu said, handing the exclusive Imperial Chef's token to Li Chenxiao. After Li Chenxiao took the token, a piece of information flowed through his mind. Detecting barracks and exclusive troops quality compliance, do you want to integrate and solidify? The solidified quality will be Golden Legend. Yes, no. Yes. The barracks and the exclusive quality token were simultaneously enveloped by a beam of light. After the light dissipated, what appeared before them was an architectural structure made of white jade, resembling an imperial kitchen, with various gourmet carvings on its surrounding walls, making people salivate at the sight. Imperial Chefs. Type. Barracks. Level 103,200s. Quality Golden Legend. Function can recruit Imperial Chefs from any time and space. Troops quantity 0 100s 10x10. Recruitment cost 320 person. Li Chenxiao directly spent 160,000 void source crystals to recruit 50 Imperial chefs. Imperial chefs. Identity. Troops. Race. Human. Quality. Golden Legend. Level. 10320. Affection. 70. Bloodline. Chef God Bloodline +1. Talent. Culinary Mastery +1. Bond. Imperial Chefs. Physique. 640 Base Attribute 32x2x10. Spirit. 640 Base Attribute 32x2x10. Imperial Chefs. Bond Quality. Golden Legend. Attribute. When there are more than 2 Imperial Chefs present, the bond activates. Upon activation, the cooking speed of all Imperial Chefs doubles. For each additional person, cooking speed doubles. This bond is also a very practical one. It might not be apparent now, but later, when millions of troops and heroes need to eat, this bond will become particularly important. 50 tall, beautiful women, dressed in Imperial Chefs' attire, slowly walked out from the door, came before Li Chenxiao and the others, and bowed, saying, "Greetings, Lord, greetings, Senior Chef, greetings, two young ladies." Li Chenxiao smiled and said, "No need for such formality, all of you may rise." A piece of information flowed through Li Chenxiao's mind. Madame Lu is grateful that the Lord summoned the Imperial Chefs, affection +5. Looking at Madame Lu, who was surrounded, appearing flustered yet inexplicably excited, Li Chenxiao couldn't help but feel amused. Li Chenxiao then spent 352,000 void source stones to upgrade both Madame Lu and the Imperial Chefs to level 5. He led them to the Immortal Armory, intending to forge a set of exclusive equipment for the Imperial Chefs, only to discover that the Immortal Armory had no equipment for Imperial Chefs. A piece of information flowed through Li Chenxiao's mind at this moment. The Immortal Armory is temporarily unable to forge equipment for auxiliary troops. A flicker of disappointment crossed Li Chenxiao's face, but he quickly returned to normal. However, the information stated it was only temporarily unavailable, so perhaps it would be possible in the future. Seeing the disappointment on Li Chenxiao's face, Yu Yao gently asked, "Young master, what's wrong? Is something amiss?" Li Chenxiao smiled and said, "It's nothing, just that I temporarily can't forge exclusive equipment for Madame Lu and her group." He then turned to Madame Lu and apologized, "My apologies, I temporarily can't forge exclusive equipment for you all. Once it becomes possible, I will make sure to forge it for you immediately." Madame Lu smiled and said, "Young master, what are you saying? Unlike Sister Yu Yao and Sister Chaoying, we don't have many demands for equipment. Even without exclusive equipment, we can still prepare delicious dishes." After all this was done, it was already noon. Today's lunch was prepared by Madame Lu and the Imperial Chefs themselves. Li Chenxiao had won many kitchen utensils in the lottery, so he wasn't worried about not having enough tools for too many people. With many hands, various delicious dishes were quickly made. Li Chenxiao also took out various beverages from the Xumi Jade gourd and enjoyed the delicious lunch with everyone. After eating and drinking their fill, everyone except those on duty at the city wall returned to their rooms to rest. Li Chenxiao went to his room and began to tally the gains from his lottery draws. First, there was the hero Madame Lu and her exclusive troops, the Imperial Chefs. Madame Lu. Others omitted. Level. 5024,000. Affection. 77. Constitution. 48,000. Spirit. 48,000. Bonds. 6 beauties of the god of cookery, Imperial Chefs. Imperial Chef. Others omitted. Level. 504,800. Affection. 73. Constitution. 9,600. Spirit. 9,600. Next were the exclusive equipment for Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying, 2 Golden Legend weapons, the Moon Shadow Sword and the Jade Maiden Sword, which he spent 1,452,800 Void Source Crystal to upgrade to level 5 and 4 stars. Li Chenxiao still remembered the tender, watery gaze they gave him when he handed them the 2 weapons, as if they could melt him. Moon Shadow Sword. Level. 5 plus 4 stars. Quality. Golden Legend. Attributes. Constitution plus 2400, Spirit plus 2400. Traits. Armor penetration, evil slaying, bleeding, critical injury, critical hit. Jade Maiden Sword. Level. 5 plus 4 stars. Quality, Golden Legend. Attributes, Constitution plus 2400, Spirit plus 2400. Traits, Armor penetration, Evil slaying, Bleeding, Critical injury, Critical hit. Other items included some ordinary skill books, equipment, and miscellaneous supplies for daily life. After all these operations, Li Chenxiao only had over 3.5 million void source crystal left. He had originally planned to upgrade both swords to 5 stars, but upgrading one sword from 4 to 5 stars required over 700,000 void source crystal, meaning 2 swords would cost over 1.4 million void source crystal. That would leave Li Chenxiao with only over 2 million void source crystal. Today was the 15th day, the first day of the third week. The monster invasion had not yet begun, and the monsters would definitely be stronger than those of the second week. Li Chenxiao didn't know exactly how much stronger they would be. He could no longer infer the monsters' strength based on the knowledge he learned in school, so it was better to keep some void source crystal in reserve. Yu Yao. Others omitted. Level 5. Affection, 95. Constitution, 51,460. Spirit, 51,460. Lin Chaoying. Others omitted. Level 5. Affection, 90. Constitution, 51,460. Spirit, 51,460. After Li Chenxiao took a nap, it was past 3 p.m. He got up and went to the southern city wall. At this time, Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, Madame Lu, as well as the Yiwa Palace and ancient tomb sect disciples and imperial chefs, were all sitting in small groups chatting. There was still no movement in the mist outside. Seeing Li Chenxiao arrive at the city wall, they all stood up and greeted him. Li Chenxiao also smiled and responded to each of them. Yu Yao couldn't help but tease, "Look how popular our young master is." Lin Chaoying also nodded in agreement. Madame Lu, perhaps having just joined, was still a bit reserved and couldn't joke with Li Chenxiao like Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying, only smiling and greeting him. Li Chenxiao couldn't help but smile helplessly at this, and said to Yu Yao, "Yuaa, you're being naughty again. You've led Chaoying astray." Hearing Li Chenxiao's words, Yu Yao stuck out her tongue at him, looking very cute. Li Chenxiao sat down beside them and said, "There's no monster invasion yet, why are you all here?" Yu Yao said, "Today is the first day of the third week, and the monster strength has increased. We've all rested well and have nothing else to do, so we came here early to wait." Hearing this, Li Chenxiao nodded and said no more, instead chatting with Yu Yao and the others about other things. Around 4 p.m., the mist outside began to churn, and flickering lights could be vaguely seen within. Seeing this, Li Chenxiao and Yu Yao knew that the monster invasion was about to begin, and everyone quickly stood up. Shortly after, monsters began to rush out of the mist. First to appear was a group of 10-meter-tall stone monsters made entirely of fiery red lava. Their 2 eyes were also red, as if flames were burning, and wherever they walked, fires began, leaving the ground covered in burning flames. Void Lava Monster. Level 10. Quality, Purple. Constitution, 440. Spirit, 440. Skills, Fire Resistance, Fireball, Physical Resistance. Fire Resistance, a passive skill of the Void Lava Monster, reducing damage taken from fire attacks by 50%. Fireball. The Void Lava Monster spits fireballs to attack enemies. Physical Resistance. A passive skill of the Void Lava Monster, reducing damage taken from physical attacks by 50%. Looking at the attributes of the monsters before him, they had indeed gotten stronger. A serious expression appeared on Li Chenxiao's face. Seeing Li Chenxiao's serious expression, Yu Yao couldn't help but ask worriedly, "Young master, what's wrong? Have you encountered a problem? The monsters' attributes aren't very strong, just about the same as yesterday's elites. We can defeat them with a flick of our hands." Li Chenxiao said, "I'm not too worried about today's monster invasion. My main concern is that if the monster invasion continues at this rate, the fourth week will definitely be an orange monster invasion, and the last 2 days will very likely be a golden legend monster invasion." Yu Yao smiled and said, "Young master, even if it's a legend monster invasion, we don't need to worry. We have the territory and the bonus from our exclusive troops. Even if a large number of legend monsters come, we can still hold them off." Li Chenxiao said, "Of course I believe in your abilities, but we are too few. Currently, the Yuwa Palace and Ancient Tomb sect disciples combined are 200 people. When hundreds of thousands of monsters invade, even if you each fight 100, it will still cause heavy casualties. Yu Yao smiled and said, "Young master, we still have the reincarnation hall. We can revive 20 times a day. If that's not enough, we can continue to revive even if it means lowering our quality. We will definitely protect the young master." Listening to Yu Yao, Li Chenxiao couldn't help but rub her head and said, "You are the most important to me. I will never allow anything to happen to you. It's best if we can pass. If not, we can just leave the trial. We've already gained enough." Yu Yao was startled by Li Chenxiao's sudden affectionate gesture. Her heart was filled with shyness, and a blush spread across her face. She couldn't help but playfully scold Li Chenxiao, "Young master." Looking at the exquisitely beautiful Yu Yao, even the solemnity in Li Chenxiao's heart dissipated. He awkwardly took his hand off Yu Yao's head. Seeing Li Chenxiao's embarrassed expression, Yu Yao couldn't help but let out a giggle, making her even more enchanting, truly a beauty that could topple cities. Lin Chaoying said to Li Chenxiao, "Young master, we're going down now." With that, she was the first to fly down the city wall, followed by the other Yuwa Palace disciples and Ancient Tomb sect disciples. Seeing this, Yu Yao also immediately flew down, leaving only Madame Lu and the imperial chefs on the city wall. With the enhancement of divine weapons and the addition of 140 Yuwa Palace disciples and Ancient Tomb sect disciples, even purple quality monsters were cut down by Yu Yao and her group like weeds. Their monster slaying efficiency increased several times compared to before. Watching the battle below, Madame Lu couldn't help but ask curiously, "Young master, are these void monsters? It truly is a wondrous world." Li Chenxiao smiled and said, "Yes, you'll see all sorts of monsters in the future." After speaking, he distributed the void source crystal to Madame Lu and the other imperial chefs, instructing them to control the arrow towers and assist Yu Yao and her group. With Madame Lu and the imperial chefs helping to control the arrow towers, Li Chenxiao felt much more relaxed. This battle, which started in the afternoon, ended around 10 p.m. Battle ended. Beginning settlement. Battle settlement. Enemies. 220,000 level 10 void lava monsters. Battle result. Complete victory. Battle rating. SSS. Basic reward. 660,000 void source stone, 660,000 void source crystal. Additional reward, SSS, 6.6 million void source stone, 6.6 million void source crystal, territory building arrow tower x 500, farmland x 450, water well x 150. After Yu Yao and her group returned, they opened all the treasure chests together. Obtained. 9 void source crystal. Obtained. 12 void source crystal, 8 void source stone. Obtained. 8 void source crystal. Obtained. 7 void source stone. Obtained. 11 void source crystal. Obtained. Arrow tower, 12 void source crystal. A total of 2.1 million void source crystal, 2 million void source stone, 430 arrow towers, 400 farmland, and 110 water well were obtained from the treasure chests. The total income from this wave of monsters is as follows. Void source crystal, 9.36 million. Void source stone, 9.26 million. Territory buildings, 930 arrow towers, 850 farmland, 260 water well, and some other equipment and miscellaneous items. Looking at the gains from this wave, although there were no other special territory buildings, the void source crystal and void source stone both exceeded 9 million. The arrow towers and farmland were also close to 1,000, and there were over 200 water wells. Li Chenxiao nodded in satisfaction. By the time they finished all this, Madame Lu and the imperial chefs had already prepared supper. After Li Chenxiao and his group finished their supper, they all went back to rest. In the endless void, with the help of Madame Lu and her group, Li Chenxiao's days became relaxed and comfortable once again. Day 16. Day 17. Day 18. Day 19. Day 20. Time passed in a flash, and the strength and number of monsters increased. Elite monsters began appearing from day 16, and the number of monsters also grew. The monsters that appeared today were a type of bear monster. They were 10 meters tall, with a magnificent and massive body covered in a layer of earthy yellow fur. Their limbs were strong and powerful, and when they stood upright, they exceeded 20 meters in height, leaving deep footprints wherever they walked. Void Earth Magic Bear. Level 10. Quality Purple. Physique 880. Spirit 880. Skills Earth Spike, Gravity Control, Physical Resistance. Earth Spike, the active skill of the Void Earth Magic Bear. When used, an earth pillar emerges from the ground to attack enemies. Gravity Control, the active skill of the Void Earth Magic Bear. When used, movement speed is reduced by 20%. Physical Resistance, the passive skill of the Void Earth Magic Bear. Damage taken from physical attacks is reduced by 50%. Looking at the monster's attributes, it was an Earth-type monster. The attributes were acceptable, but the two Earth-type skills were more troublesome. After all, a sudden Earth pillar emerging from underfoot or a sudden decrease in movement speed during battle could cause even Yu Yao and her group to be hit if they weren't careful. But it was only a minor inconvenience. Even if Yu Yao and her group were hit, they wouldn't suffer any serious injuries, just a bit of trouble. Although many earth pillars suddenly emerged during the battle below the city wall, they did not harm Yu Yao and her group. This battle ended around 5 p.m. Same as above. Enemies. 300,000 Level 10 Void Earth Magic Bear. Battle Result. Complete Victory. Battle Rating. SSS. Basic Reward. 900,000 Void Source Stone, 900,000 Void Source Crystal. Additional Reward, SSS, 9 million Void Source Stone, 9 million Void Source Crystal, Territory Building Arrow Tower X 500, Farmland X 480, Water Well X 150. After Yu Yao and her group returned, they opened all the treasure chests together. Obtained. 9 Void Source Crystal. Obtained. Arrow Tower, 12 Void Source Crystal. A total of 3.1 million Void Source Crystal, 2.8 million Void Source Stone, 600 Arrow Towers, 530 Farmland, and 200 Water Well were obtained from the treasure chests. The total income from this wave of monsters is as follows. Void Source Crystal, 13 million. Void Source Stone, 12.7 million. Territory Buildings, 1100 Arrow Towers, 1010 Farmland, 350 Water Well, and some other equipment and miscellaneous items. Li Chenxiao had not used any resources from the monster invasions these past few days, saving them up. Including today's gains, his Void Source Crystal and Void Source Stone had already surpassed 60 million each. The Arrow Towers and Farmland had both exceeded 7,000, and there were over 2,000 water wells. Tomorrow is the last day of the third week, so Li Chenxiao decided to use all these resources today. First, he spent nearly 25 million Void Source Stone to upgrade the city wall to level 5. Thorn Stone Wall. Level 50480ths of a per square meter. Quality. Golden Legend. Function. All-round protection. Defense. 48000, 4800 x 10. Durability. 2.4 million, 2.4 million, 240,000 x 10. Traits. Thorn Rebound, Automatic Repair. Thorn Rebound. When attacked by an enemy, 5% of the enemy's attack is converted into true damage and reflected back to them. Automatic Repair. When attacked, restores 5% durability per hour. When not under attack, durability recovery doubles per hour. Looking at the Void Source Stone, which was more than one-third depleted, Li Chenxiao felt a pang in his heart. This city wall was simply a money pit. However, in an instant, Li Chenxiao cast it aside. Today's main priority was the increase in territory level. The resources accumulated over these past few days were all for this moment. Void rules dictate that the territory level cannot exceed the city wall and arrow tower by more than 5 levels. This means that a situation where the territory is level 100, while defense towers and city walls are level 1 or 10, will not occur. If the difference exceeds 5 levels, the territory level cannot be increased. It was only because Li Chenxiao's city wall required too many resources to upgrade that he was unable to improve it, which is why Li Chenxiao's territory had remained at level 5. Now, Li Chenxiao wanted to raise his territory level to 10 in one go. Territory level 10 is the first step for a lord to become a formal lord. It has two major differences from levels before 10. One is that when the territory level reaches 10, the lord awakens heroic power. A lord who has awakened heroic power is no longer powerless. He can choose a hero according to his needs and apply their attributes to himself. For example, if Li Chenxiao chooses Yu Yao, he becomes as powerful as Yu Yao. If he chooses Lin Chaoying, he becomes as powerful as Lin Chaoying. Moreover, for every 10 levels gained, an additional hero can be stacked. For example, if Li Chenxiao is level 20, he can choose to stack Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying simultaneously, with attributes being the sum of both, and skills being all of their skills. Therefore, in the later stages of the Lord era, the strongest is not the hero, but the Lord himself. The second difference is lifespan. Before territory level 10, a lord's lifespan is the same as a normal person's, with a maximum of 100 years. However, at territory level 10, a lord's lifespan is 200 years, and the higher the level, the longer the lifespan. This is also one of the reasons why lords in the Lord era desperately try to upgrade their territories. Li Chenxiao spent nearly 500,000 Void Source Stone to upgrade his territory to level 10. He then spent over 10 million to upgrade all other territory buildings, except for Lingxiao Palace, to level 10. Currently, all territory buildings within the territory, except for the defense towers and city walls which are level 5, have been upgraded to level 10. After the territory building upgrades were completed, Li Chenxiao still had nearly 20 million Void Source Stone remaining. After upgrading Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, Madame Lu, and Yiwa Palace, Ancient Tomb Sect, and Imperial Chefs all to level 10, only over 10 million Void Source Stone were left. Li Chenxiao still had over 60 million Void Source Crystal unused. He first spent over 9 million Void Source Crystal to upgrade the equipment of 200 Yiwa Palace disciples and Ancient Tomb Sect disciples to level 10. Then, he spent over 40 million to upgrade Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying's exclusive equipment to level 10 and to 9 stars. The Void Source Crystal in his hand instantly dwindled to just over 10 million. The resources he had painstakingly saved were almost completely depleted in an instant. It was truly like decades of hard work, only to return to square one overnight. Li Chenxiao opened the territory panel. Territory. Unnamed. Owner. Li Chenxiao. Level. 10. Area. 48,176 thousandths of a square meters. Buildings owned. Lingxiao Palace, Thornstone Wall, Myriad Realms Goddess Palace, Yiwa Palace, Ancient Tomb Sect, Imperial Chefs, Jade Nectar Pavilion, Farmland, Full Moon Well, Fragrance of Flowers, Immortal Armory, Reincarnation Hall, Immortal Pill Pavilion, Xumi Jade Gourd, Immortal Herb Garden, Immortal Fruit Garden, Repeating Crossbow Tower, Frost Tower, Explosive Flame Tower, Lightning Tower, Holy Light Tower, Illumination Tower, Weakening Tower, Vine Tower, Meteorite Tower, Days Tower. Residence. 263. Territory Trait. Taiyan Heavenly Palace. Lingxiao Palace. Type. Apartment. Level. 2. Quality. Golden Legend. Function. Residence. Recovery speed increased by 2 times. Cultivation speed increased by 2 times. Rooms. 330x10. Myriad Realms Goddess Palace. Building type. Altar. Level. 10. Function. Summon 1000, Advanced Summon 10,000. Yiwa Palace. Type. Barracks. Level. 10. Quality. Golden Legend. Function. Can recruit Yiwa Palace disciples from any time and space. Troops quantity. 105,500, 550x10. Recruitment cost. 320 person. Ancient Tomb Sect. Type. Barracks. Level. 10. Quality. Golden Legend. Function. Can recruit Ancient Tomb Sect disciples from any time and space. Troops quantity. 105,500, 550x10. Recruitment cost. 320 person. Imperial Chefs. Type. Barracks. Level. 10. Quality. Golden Legend. Function. Can recruit Imperial Chefs from any time and space. Troops quantity. 65,500, 550x10. Recruitment cost. 320 person. Jade Nectar Pavilion. Type. Restaurant. Quality. Golden Legend. Level. 10. Function. Produces delicacies and fine wines. Inventory. 55000, 5500x10. Description. As long as there are enough ingredients, it can produce delicacies from the myriad realms. The produced delicacies will have a temporary positive effect bonus. Farmland. Type: Farmland. Level: 10. Quality: Golden Legend. Function: Planting. Area: 550 x 10. Trait: Spiritual Soil. Level 1. Yield x 10 times 1 x 10. Quality of planted produce +1. Full Moon Well. Level: 10. Quality: Golden Legend. Function: Drinking. Trait: Blessing of the Moon Goddess. Instantly restores a certain amount of stamina and spirit. Long-term consumption has the effect of whitening and beautifying the skin. Inventory: 5,500. 5,500 represents 5,500 tons. A full moon appears above the wellhead every night. Recovery speed: 1 night, 550 x 10. Fragrance of flowers. Level: 10. Quality: Golden Legend. Function: Waste disposal. Quantity: 550 55 x 10. Trait: Comes with a floral scent, intoxicating people. Cultivation speed plus 100%. 10% x 10. Immortal Armory. Level: 10. Quality: Golden Legend. Function: Equipment crafting. Trait: Exclusive equipment can tailor exclusive equipment for troops, and the quality of the equipment is the same as the troops' quality. Reincarnation Hall. Type: Temple. Level: 10. Function: Resurrect heroes, resurrect troops. Resurrection limit: Level 10. Interval time varies with the quality of heroes and troops. The higher the quality of heroes and troops, the longer the resurrection interval. Resurrection flaw: the first resurrection does not enter a weakened state. Subsequent resurrections enter a weakened state, only able to exert 90% of overall strength. This resurrection flaw decreases with increasing level. If resurrected more than 30 times consecutively within one day, it will reduce the quality of the hero or troops. Immortal Pill Pavilion. Level: 10. Quality: Golden Legend. Function: Pill refining. Trait: Pill quality +1, success rate increased by 50%. With the territory trait bonus, pill quantity 550 x 10. XUMI Jade Gourd. Building type: Warehouse. Quality: Golden Legend. Level: 10. Function: Item storage. Footprint: 5,500 square meters. Storage space: 5.5 million square meters, 550,000 x 10. Trait: Automatic pickup, automatic classification. Immortal Herb Garden. Building type: Herb Garden. Quality: Golden Legend. Level: 10. Function: Planting medicinal herbs. Footprint: 5,500 square meters. Internal flow rate: 1, 2,200 x 10. Trait: Acceleration, built-in universe. Acceleration: internal flow rate increased by 100 times. Built-in universe: internal area is 10 times the footprint. Immortal Fruit Garden. Building type: Orchard. Quality: Golden Legend. Level: 10. Function: Planting fruit trees. Footprint: 5,500 square meters. Internal flow rate: 1, 2,200 x 10. Trait: Acceleration, built-in universe. Acceleration: internal flow rate increased by 100 times. Built-in universe: internal area is 10 times the footprint. Silver Moon Dream. Level: 10. Quality: Blue. Attributes: Constitution +220, Spirit +220. Traits: Silver Moon Bodyguard, Water Evasion. Heart of Emerald. Level: 10. Quality: Blue. Attributes: Constitution +220, Spirit +220. Traits: Emerald Bodyguard, Air Walk. Moon Shadow Sword. Level: 10 +9 stars. Quality: Golden Legend. Attributes: Constitution +17600, Spirit +17600. Traits: Armor Break, Evil Break, Bleeding, Severe Injury, Critical Hit. Jade Maiden Sword. Level: 10 +9 stars. Quality: Golden Legend. Attributes: Constitution +17600, Spirit +17600. Traits: Armor Break, Evil Break, Bleeding, Severe Injury, Critical Hit. Yu Yao. Others omitted. Level: 10. Affection: 97. Constitution: 177,000 + 17,600 + 220. Spirit: 177,000 plus 17,600 plus 220. Lin Chaoying. Others omitted. Level 10. Affection 93. Constitution 177,000 plus 17,600 plus 220. Spirit 177,000 plus 17,600 plus 220. Madam Lu. Others omitted. Level 10. Affection 87. Constitution 176,000. Spirit 176,000. Yiwa Palace Disciples. Others omitted. Level 10. Affection 90. Constitution 35,400. Spirit 35,400. Ancient Tomb Sect Disciples. Others omitted. Level 10. Affection 90. Constitution 35,400. Spirit 35,400. Imperial Chefs. Others omitted. Level 10. Affection 80. Constitution 35,200. Spirit 35,200. Looking at the various building attributes in the territory and the powerful attributes of the heroes and troops, all the expenditures were worth it. The most important thing now was to test the power of heroes. Li Chenxiao first chose Yu Yao. The next moment, a powerful force filled his entire body. Although this force was strong, it was also very gentle, like his own, without any sense of unfamiliarity. Li Chenxiao felt like he could shatter a mountain with one punch. At the same time, his mind was incredibly clear, and the entire territory was within his sight. Standing there, he could even see the patterns on the plants in the spiritual fields. Is this Yu Yao's power and mental strength? This is only with the blessing of one hero's power. He wondered how powerful he would become in the future with the blessing of dozens or hundreds of heroes. Thinking of this, Li Chenxiao's heart stirred with excitement. Heaven knew how he had endured these 20 days. Every time he saw Yu Yao and the others fighting monsters below the city walls, Li Chenxiao wished he could go down and fight himself, but he was too weak. A monster could swat him to death with one slap. He could only replenish the arrow tower's stock on the city wall and act as a mascot. From now on, he was no longer the weak lord he once was. He could now fight alongside Yu Yao and the others. Taking out a long sword from his inventory, Li Chenxiao began to practice on the spot. Then, he switched to the heroes Lin Chaoying and Madame Lu. While Li Chenxiao was enthusiastically playing, a piece of information flowed through his mind. Detected that Lord level has reached level 10, becoming a junior lord. Please name the territory. Celestial Court. This was a name Li Chenxiao had decided on long ago. As soon as he became a lord, his territory would be called Celestial Court. As for why it was called this name, there were two main reasons. One was that as a member of the great eastern country on earth, he was quite familiar with Eastern history and mythology. Having come to this parallel lord era, he hoped that one day these names with ancient Eastern charm could spread throughout the myriad realms with him. The other reason was that he hoped his territory could become like the Celestial Court in mythology, ruling over the myriad realms. Time quickly arrived at the 21st day. Since acquiring the power of heroes yesterday, Li Chenxiao had been too excited to rest all night, but for the current Li Chenxiao, even 10 days or half a month without rest was fine, so he still looked energetic. Li Chenxiao arrived at the city wall early. Besides the Yiwa Palace and ancient Tomb Sect disciples on duty, no one else had arrived yet. Seeing Li Chenxiao arrive, the Yiwa Palace and ancient Tomb Sect disciples on duty all greeted him. Li Chenxiao responded with a smile to each of them, saying, "You've been on duty all night. You should all go and get some good rest. I'll guard here. We'll stay with young master and guard together. We can help young master if anything happens. Don't worry, I have awakened the power of heroes and can use the power of Yuaa and Chaoying." Hearing Li Chenxiao's words, the Yiwa Palace and ancient Tomb Sect disciples bowed to him and left the city wall to rest. Li Chenxiao was the only one left on the entire city wall. As the territory expanded, the fog moved further and further away from the territory. There was still no movement in the fog outside. Li Chenxiao wished that monsters would invade immediately so he could fight to his heart's content. As for Li Chenxiao entering the fog to explore and search for monsters, that was simply wishful thinking. Li Chenxiao might not even know how he died if he entered the fog. In the early stages of the Lord era, during the Void Trial, some lords, relying on the strength of their heroes and troops, would enter the fog after a monster invasion, hoping to find the monsters' lairs, kill them all, and obtain a higher evaluation. However, none of the lords who entered ever returned. Later, ancient immortals and gods sent news that during the Void Trial, lords and monsters would follow rules. The stronger the territory, the greater the number and strength of monster invasions, but the strength was limited. At the very least, if a lord couldn't defeat them, they would still have time to escape quickly. That is to say, there wouldn't be a level 1 lord encountering level 100 monsters. Even if level 100 monsters appeared, they wouldn't be able to leave the fog and attack the territory. However, once a lord entered the fog, this rule would no longer be effective. No one could say how many levels of monsters were in the fog. While Li Chenxiao was staring blankly at the distant fog, he heard a clear voice say, "Young master, why are you alone on the city wall?" Li Chenxiao turned around, looked at Yu Yao approaching, and smiled. "Yue, you're here." Yu Yao sat beside Li Chenxiao and said, "Where are the people on duty? How can young master be alone on the city wall? What if something happens?" Li Chenxiao said, "It's not their fault. I told them to rest first. I have awakened the power of heroes and can bless you and Chaoying with your power. That is to say, I am now as strong as you and Chaoying. Even if monsters invade, I can hold on until you arrive." Yu Yao rested her head on Li Chenxiao's shoulder, and the two of them sat there, enjoying the peaceful time. Yu Yao's favorability had already reached 97 points, so such intimate gestures were no longer rejected in private. After an unknown amount of time, a somewhat mischievous voice said, "I wondered why I couldn't find young master and sister Yu Yao. So you two are on a date here." Hearing this voice, Yu Yao quickly moved her head from Li Chenxiao's shoulder, looked in the direction of the voice, and said shyly, "Sister, don't talk nonsense. I'm just worried about young master." Lin Chaoying teased, yes, everything sister says is right." Looking at Lin Chaoying, who was still teasing her, Yu Yao also stood up and started playfully bickering with Lin Chaoying, while Li Chenxiao and Madame Lu just sat aside, smiling as they watched the two of them. After a while, the two had bickered enough and sat down beside Li Chenxiao. The four of them sat on the city wall and chatted. Today was the 21st day, also the last day of the third week of monster invasions. The number of monsters would definitely increase, but it was unknown whether they would be mini-bosses, leaders, or even a boss. Soon, everyone except the Yiwa Palace and ancient tomb sect disciples who were on duty last night arrived. At this time, the fog outside also began to stir. A group of huge wolves, 3 meters tall, 7 meters long, with silver-white fur all over their bodies and 2 wings on their backs, emerged from the fog. Void Flying Wolf Elite. Level 20. Quality: Purple. Physique: 3360. Spirit: 3360. Skills: Flight, Haste, Wolf Howl. Flight: the Void Flying Wolf's passive skill, allowing it to fly through the air. Haste: the Void Flying Wolf's active skill. When haste is activated, speed increases by 100%. Wolf Howl: the Void Flying Wolf's active skill. The Void Flying Wolf emits a huge howl from its mouth, 100% stunning enemies with lower spirit for 1 second. For enemies with higher spirit, there is a certain chance of stunning them for 1 second. The higher the spirit, the lower the probability of being stunned. Looking at the attributes of the monster in front of him, Li Chenxiao was speechless. This void trial was getting more and more outrageous, even flying monsters were appearing. During the void trial, there were generally no flying monsters. When everyone was fighting on the ground, flying monsters were simply invincible. Looking at the approaching wolf pack, Li Chenxiao told Madame Lu to take charge of commanding the imperial chefs to operate the arrow towers and replenish supplies. After that, Li Chenxiao, accompanied by Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, and the Yiwa Palace disciples and ancient tomb sect disciples, flew down from the city wall and charged towards the wolf pack. Li Chenxiao took out a long sword from his inventory and swung it forward, instantly felling over 10 wolves. Li Chenxiao was slaughtering all around below the city wall, with Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying on his 2 sides. The 3 of them formed an arrowhead, leading the Yiwa Palace disciples and ancient tomb sect disciples as they weaved through the wolf pack. Madame Lu and her group also operated the arrow towers to support Li Chenxiao and his people. Countless arrows flew from the defensive towers, killing the wolves and greatly alleviating the pressure on Li Chenxiao and his group. As the battle progressed, elite and leader monsters began to appear on the battlefield, mixed in with the wolf pack, launching surprise attacks and not engaging Li Chenxiao and his group directly. Void Sky Flying Wolf Elite. Level 20. Quality Purple. Constitution 5040. Spirit 5040. Skills Flight, Haste, Wolf Howl. Flight. The Void Sky Flying Wolf's passive skill, allowing it to fly through the air. Haste. The Void Sky Flying Wolf's active skill. When haste is activated, its speed increases by 200%. Wolf Howl. The Void Sky Flying Wolf's active skill. The Void Sky Flying Wolf emits a loud howl from its mouth. Enemies with a spirit lower than its own are 100% stunned for 2 seconds. Enemies with a spirit higher than its own have a certain chance to be stunned for 2 seconds. The higher their spirit, the lower the chance of being stunned. Void Sky Flying Wolf Leader. Level 20. Quality Purple. Constitution 6720. Spirit 6720. Skills Flight, Haste, Wolf Howl. Flight. The Void Sky Flying Wolf's passive skill, allowing it to fly through the air. Haste. The Void Sky Flying Wolf's active skill. When haste is activated, its speed increases by 300%. Wolf Howl. The Void Sky Flying Wolf's active skill. The Void Sky Flying Wolf emits a loud howl from its mouth. Enemies with a spirit lower than its own are 100% stunned for 3 seconds. Enemies with a spirit higher than its own have a certain chance to be stunned for 3 seconds. The higher their spirit, the lower the chance of being stunned. Although they didn't injure Li Chenxiao and his group, they did cause them some trouble. Li Chenxiao couldn't help but curse inwardly, what cunning beasts. The number of elite and leader monsters appearing this time was much higher than before. If this continued, Li Chenxiao, Yu Yao, and Lin Chaoying would be fine, but the Yue Palace disciples and ancient tomb sect disciples might not be. Their attributes were only about 5 times higher than the leaders. If they were ambushed by multiple elites and leaders, they could still be killed. Li Chenxiao said to Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying, Yue, Chaoying, let's not worry about the other wolves for now. Prioritize eliminating the leaders and elites within the wolf pack, otherwise, it will cause casualties among the Yue Palace disciples and ancient tomb sect disciples. Yu Yao and Lin Chaoying replied, understood, young master. After they spoke, they ignored the ordinary wolves and focused on killing the elites and leaders. Li Chenxiao also instructed Madame Lu and her group to control the arrow towers and prioritize targeting the elites and leaders. This battle lasted until the afternoon. All the elites and leaders had been killed, leaving only the elite wolf pack, and the battle would soon end. Suddenly, a Yue Palace disciple let out a scream. A chunk of flesh had been bitten off her arm, and blood instantly stained her white clothes red. Stimulated by the blood, the other wolves attacked even more ferociously. Li Chenxiao, Yu Yao, and Lin Chaoying rushed over, rescued her, and helped her to the side, asking, how are you? Did you see which wolf injured you? The Yue Palace disciple replied, thank you, young master. That wasn't an ordinary void elite wolf. I think it might be a boss. Boss? Are you sure? Li Chenxiao asked in surprise. Young master, it should be a boss. We've already fought the wolf elites and leaders, and I even killed one leader. The wolf that bit me just now looked similar to the other wolves, but its speed was clearly faster than the others. I was just careless and was suddenly bitten by it. Hearing this, Li Chenxiao quickly scanned the entire battlefield. The battle was nearing its end, and there weren't many wolves left. Soon, Li Chenxiao noticed something unusual. Although one wolf in the pack was similar in size to the others, its fur was noticeably darker than the other wolves, and its eyes were also more agile than the others. Void Sky Flying Wolf Boss. Level 20. Quality Purple. Constitution 8400. Spirit 8400. Skills Flight, Haste, Size Manipulation. Flight. The Void Sky Flying Wolf's passive skill, allowing it to fly through the air. Haste. The Void Sky Flying Wolf's active skill. When haste is activated, its speed increases by 500%. Size Manipulation. The Void Sky Flying Wolf leader's exclusive skill. The Void Sky Flying Wolf can change its body size as needed, becoming larger or smaller. What a cunning beast. If there hadn't been so few wolves on the field, it would have been very difficult to find it. Furthermore, Li Chenxiao had made two mistakes. One was assuming that all bosses would be larger than other leaders and that leaders should be accompanied by them upon appearance. The other was assuming that the leader's skills were the same as the other wolves in the pack, only differing in increased speed and control duration. He hadn't expected this boss to break the norm, which gave it an opportunity. However, this incident also served as a wake-up call for Li Chenxiao. Anything is possible, and one cannot make assumptions. In the future, he must be cautious and careful when dealing with monsters or enemies, or he might unexpectedly suffer a setback. If it hadn't been found, it would have caused difficulties for Li Chenxiao and his group. Now that it was found, it was easy to deal with. After all, with a difference of more than 20 times in attributes compared to Li Chenxiao and his group, this leader was quickly killed by Li Chenxiao, Yu Yao, and Lin Chaoying. After killing the boss, the wolves on the field were also cleared. At this moment, a message came from Li Chenxiao's Lord's heart. Battle ended. Beginning settlement. Battle settlement. Enemies. 350,000 level 10 Void Sky Flying Wolves, 1,000 Void Sky Flying Wolf Elites, 100 Void Sky Flying Wolf Leaders, 1 Void Sky Flying Wolf Boss. Battle result. Complete victory. Battle rating. SSS. Basic rewards. 1.08 million Void Source Stones, 1.08 million Void Source Crystals. Additional rewards, SSS, 10.8 million Void Source Stones, 10.8 million Void Source Crystals, Territory Buildings, Arrow Tower X 700, Farmland X 630, Water Well X 200, Spirit Beast Garden. Seeing the battle end, Li Chenxiao sent the injured Yue Palace disciple back to rest. Then, Li Chenxiao and the others began to clear the battlefield and collect treasure chests. After collecting everything, Li Chenxiao and Yu Yao went to the Jade Nectar Pavilion for dinner. After dinner, they all returned to rest. The treasure chests were still in the Xumi Jade Gourd and had not been opened yet. The buildings in the territory had just been upgraded, and resources were temporarily sufficient, so there was no immediate need to replenish them. Opening treasure chests was no longer like at the beginning, where they would quickly open them after battle to replenish resources. Therefore, Li Chenxiao told Yu Yao and the others to go back and rest first. It wouldn't be too late to open the treasure chests after they were well rested. Li Chenxiao lay on his bed, reviewing the rewards he had received this time. The other rewards were fine, but when he saw the Spirit Beast Garden, he couldn't calm down for a long time. He was even happier than when he first obtained the Spirit Herb Garden and the Spirit Fruit Garden. He hadn't expected this reward to be a Spirit Beast Garden. In this great era of Lord of all, lords are mainly divided into two categories, warlords and farming lords. There is also a type of lord that cannot be precisely defined, the Spirit Beast Lord. The reason they cannot be precisely defined is that their combat power cannot be determined. Most warlords have stronger combat power than farming lords. However, Spirit Beast Lords are an exception. Powerful Spirit Beast Lords are stronger than many warlords, while weak Spirit Beast Lords might only have combat power similar to farming lords. The reason for this is that the strength of a Spirit Beast Lord depends on the strength of their Spirit Beasts. Powerful Spirit Beast Lords can cultivate combat Spirit Beasts like dragons, tigers, and lions, while weak Spirit Beast Lords can only cultivate Spirit Chickens, Spirit Ducks, Spirit Geese, and so on, becoming like farming lords whose cultivated Spirit Beasts end up as food on their lord's dining table. The prerequisite for becoming a Spirit Beast Lord is to have a Spirit Beast Garden. Without a Spirit Beast Garden, even if your territory's characteristics lean towards enhancing Spirit Beasts, you cannot become a Spirit Beast Lord. In terms of rarity, the Spirit Beast Garden is much rarer than the Spirit Herb Garden and the Spirit Fruit Garden. After all, many large families have Spirit Herb Gardens and Spirit Fruit Gardens, though their quality might be low, or some large families possess these two types of lords without revealing it. Spirit herbs and spirit fruits can enhance a family's strength, but a powerful Spirit Beast Lord can become the foundation of a family. The combination of a powerful Spirit Beast with heroes and troops is definitely not as simple as 1+1. Many powerful lords are unwilling to conflict with Spirit Beast Lords because you never know what kind of Spirit Beasts a Spirit Beast Lord has cultivated. If they have cultivated a powerful spirit beast, even a warlord could perish on the spot. It is precisely because of the unique and rare nature of spirit beast lords that Li Chenxiao had never thought of developing in this direction. He just hadn't expected to obtain a spirit beast garden during the trial. This happiness came so suddenly, but Li Chenxiao loved it. If such happiness could come, he wished it would come every day. The quality of spirit beasts is divided into white common, green excellent, blue fine, purple outstanding, orange epic, and golden legend. Generally, high-quality spirit beasts can command low-quality spirit beasts. This is bloodline suppression, but there are exceptions. For example, a green excellent spirit beast can command white common spirit beasts, but when a white common leader or boss is present, the green excellent spirit beast cannot command the white common spirit beasts. However, if a green excellent leader or boss is present, even if white common spirit beast leaders and bosses are present, the green excellent boss can still command them. Even white bosses must be commanded by the green boss. The quality of the spirit beast garden is divided into white common, green excellent, blue fine, purple outstanding, orange epic, and golden legend. The quality division of the spirit beast garden is mainly based on the quality of spirit beasts, because some spirit beasts have requirements for the quality of the spirit beast garden. A white quality spirit beast garden can only cultivate white common and green excellent spirit beasts. A green excellent quality spirit beast garden can cultivate white common, green excellent, and blue fine spirit beasts. A blue fine quality spirit beast garden can cultivate white common, green excellent, blue fine, and purple outstanding spirit beasts. A purple outstanding quality spirit beast garden can cultivate white common, green excellent, blue fine, purple outstanding, and orange epic spirit beasts. An orange epic quality spirit beast garden can cultivate white common, green excellent, blue fine, purple outstanding, orange epic, and golden legend spirit beasts. A golden legend quality spirit beast garden can cultivate spirit beasts of all qualities. If a high-quality spirit beast is placed in a low-quality spirit beast garden, it will cause bloodline degradation, meaning its quality will decrease. For example, if a golden legend quality spirit beast is placed in a green excellent quality spirit beast garden, the golden legend quality spirit beast will slowly degenerate into a blue fine quality spirit beast. However, placing a low-quality spirit beast in a high-quality spirit beast garden will not cause it to evolve. For example, if a green excellent quality spirit beast is placed in a golden legend quality spirit beast garden, it will always remain a green excellent spirit beast. Thinking about the golden legend quality spirit beast garden he was about to acquire, Li Chenxiao couldn't sleep. He got up and went to the vicinity of the orchard, suppressing his inner excitement. He directly took out the spirit beast garden from his item bar and threw the architectural model of the spirit beast garden onto an empty space nearby. As soon as the spirit beast garden was thrown out, it grew with the wind, becoming larger and larger. Until finally, a beast garden filled with a primeval aura appeared before his eyes. Spirit Beast Garden Plus. Building type: Beast Garden. Quality: White Common. Level: 10100. Function: Cultivate spirit beasts. Area: 100 square meters. Li Chenxiao directly clicked the plus sign. A divine light flew from Li Chenxiao, enveloping the spirit beast garden. Moments later, the divine light dissipated, and the spirit beast garden before him transformed from a beast garden filled with a primeval aura into a garden with walls carved with various exotic beasts and an interior filled with flowing immortal energy. The plaque above the garden gate also changed to Immortal Beast Garden. Immortal Beast Garden. Building type: Beast Garden. Quality: Golden Legend. Level: 103,200. Function: Cultivate spirit beasts. Area: 1000 square meters 100 x 10. Characteristics: Ancestral Reversion, Quality +1. Ancestral Reversion. Spirit beasts in the Spirit Beast Garden exhibit ancestral reversion, reaching the same quality as their ancestors at most. If a spirit beast's ancestors possessed a powerful bloodline, ancestral reversion is guaranteed. If a spirit beast's ancestors did not possess a powerful bloodline, ancestral reversion cannot occur. Quality +1. The quality of spirit beasts within the Spirit Beast Garden increases by 1. Seeing the two characteristics of the Spirit Beast Garden, Li Chenxiao was ecstatic. There are many types of spirit beast garden characteristics, and the higher the quality, the stronger the characteristic. Common characteristics include reproduction, which increases the fertility of spirit beasts, while powerful characteristics include recovery, allowing spirit beasts to recover quickly in the spirit beast garden after being injured, and so on. However, Li Chenxiao had never seen such powerful characteristics as those of the immortal beast garden before him. There is a principle among spirit beasts: children born from spirit beasts of the same quality are generally the same as their parents. Children born from spirit beasts of different qualities are generally the same as the lower quality parent. They might be slightly stronger, but they will not reach the quality of the higher quality spirit beast. Of course, there is also a special situation where the child born is mutated. This mutation could be good or bad, and regardless of the type of mutation, the chance is 1 in 10,000. For example, children born from 2 Golden Legend quality spirit beasts are generally Golden Legend quality spirit beasts, just like their parents. Children born from a Golden Legend quality spirit beast and a Blue Fine quality spirit beast could be Blue Fine quality spirit beasts, Purple Outstanding quality spirit beasts, or Orange Epic quality spirit beasts, but absolutely never Golden Legend quality spirit beasts. If Golden Legend quality spirit beasts and common quality spirit beasts could produce Golden Legend quality spirit beasts, then just one Golden Legend quality spirit beast could produce thousands of Golden Legend quality spirit beasts, which is impossible. It's like how dragons give birth to dragons, but dragons mating with other animals never produce dragons, they only possess some of a dragon's abilities. This is like the saying, a dragon has 9 sons, and each is different. If a child born from a Golden Legend quality spirit beast and a Blue Fine quality spirit beast is a Blue Fine quality spirit beast, it would be an invincible presence among blue quality spirit beasts, and could even contend with Purple Outstanding quality spirit beasts. The reason for this is that it possesses a portion of the Golden Legend quality spirit beast's bloodline. The 2 characteristics of the spirit beast garden were simply heaven-defying. Ancestral return. As the name suggests, if an ancestor was a Golden Legend quality spirit beast, and for various reasons its bloodline became increasingly diluted, as long as it enters the immortal beast garden, no matter how diluted its bloodline, it will definitely achieve the same quality as its ancestor. For example, if a spirit beast whose ancestor was of Golden Legend quality, due to various reasons, is now only a white common or green excellent spirit beast, as long as it enters the spirit beast garden, its quality will inevitably revert to that of a Golden Legend spirit beast. This means that as long as Li Chenxiao finds spirit beasts with high-quality bloodlines, he will inevitably obtain high-quality spirit beasts. Quality +1. This is also a heaven-defying characteristic. For example, a group of white common spirit beasts entering the immortal beast garden will become a group of green excellent spirit beasts, and a group of green excellent spirit beasts entering the immortal beast garden will become a group of blue fine spirit beasts, and so on. Quality +1. This characteristic itself is a heaven-defying ability, and coupled with the ancestral return characteristic, it means that if Li Chenxiao can obtain a group of spirit beasts with Golden Legend quality bloodlines, he will inevitably obtain a large group of spirit beasts that surpass Golden Legend quality. High-quality spirit beasts are a rare resource on the market. Almost no one trades high-quality spirit beasts. However, spirit beasts with high-quality bloodlines occasionally circulate on the market. Besides the rarity of the spirit beast garden, another reason why beast taming lords are even rarer than herb planting lords and fruit planting lords is reproduction. As long as a large family has one beast taming lord and one high-quality spirit beast, theoretically, they can continuously obtain spirit beasts with high-quality bloodlines. For example, a lord in a family who possesses a blue fine spirit beast garden can cultivate spirit beasts up to purple outstanding quality. If he has a purple outstanding quality spirit beast, he can theoretically cultivate a group of white common, green excellent, and blue fine spirit beasts for the family, all possessing purple outstanding quality bloodlines. These spirit beasts with purple outstanding quality bloodlines are much stronger than spirit beasts of the same quality. Besides the 2 characteristics above that made Li Chenxiao ecstatic, there was also the area of the spirit beast garden. The level of the spirit beast garden limits the level of spirit beasts, but not their quantity. The quantity of spirit beasts is limited by the area of the spirit beast garden. For example, if the spirit beast garden is level 10, it cannot cultivate spirit beasts above level 10, it can only cultivate spirit beasts of level 10 or below. Each spirit beast occupies a certain amount of space, and the space occupied varies depending on the size of the spirit beast. The larger the area of the spirit beast garden, the more spirit beasts can be cultivated. Conversely, the smaller the area of the spirit beast garden, the fewer spirit beasts can be cultivated. Li Chenxiao's spirit beast garden's area, with the blessing of his territory's characteristics, is 10 times its current size, meaning Li Chenxiao can cultivate 10 times the number of spirit beasts compared to others. The next day, after breakfast, before the monsters began their invasion, Li Chenxiao, Yu Yao, Lin Chaoying, and Madame Lu together opened all the treasure chests from yesterday's monster invasion. Obtained 11 void source crystals. Obtained 10 void source crystals, 9 void source stones. Obtained 7 void source crystals. Obtained 8 void source stones. Obtained 11 void source crystals. Obtained arrow tower, 10 void source crystals. All treasure chests had been opened, leaving only the boss treasure chest in Li Chenxiao's hand. Looking at the treasure chest in front of him, Li Chenxiao felt a bit overwhelmed. To be honest, Li Chenxiao was scared by his previous attempts at opening boss and leader treasure chests. The items he got were simply unbearable to look at. Yu Yao and the others also looked at Li Chenxiao expectantly and said, "Young master, quickly open it and let us see what good things the boss's treasure chest gave us." Li Chenxiao encouraged himself, saying, "I'll open it just this once. If I don't get anything good this time, I'll never touch a boss treasure chest again." Open. Li Chenxiao opened the treasure chest, and inside there were only 4 items in total. 1 piece of paper, 20 attribute points, and 2 magic skill books. Looking at the contents of the treasure chest, Li Chenxiao's heart sank. It seemed he wasn't suited for opening treasure chests, a boss only gave these few items. 20 attribute points and 2 magic skill books, 1 for fire rain and 1 for freeze, 1 for area of effect and 1 for control, were not bad. The key was that Li Chenxiao couldn't use the skill books. As a lord following the celestial court path, he didn't need these magic side skills, he could only exchange them for other skills later. Among war lords, cultivation side lords generally have stronger combat power than magic side lords. The reason is that magic side lords cast spells by borrowing various forces from nature. Once the opponent targets them with magic suppression, their magic spells become useless. Cultivation side lords, however, use the power of the rules of nature, so magic suppression methods are ineffective against them. In other words, one borrows, and the other directly commands. Although cultivation side lords are stronger than magic side lords, there are many more magic side lords than cultivation side lords. The reason is that magic side lords can learn skills as long as they have skill books. Even white common heroes can learn purple skills, though the power they unleash is not as strong as purple heroes. As for cultivation side lords, besides skill books being more difficult to obtain, another reason is that cultivation side lords take more time to grow than magic side lords. Even with skill books, they still need to spend a lot of time cultivating to see results. Li Chenxiao's heroes and troops directly solve the problem of skill books, and they are exclusive troops. Whatever the heroes learn will be synchronized to the troops. The Lingxiao Palace in Li Chenxiao's territory has the ability of acceleration cultivation, which directly solve the 2 major difficulties of the cultivation path. Li Chenxiao took out the last piece of paper from the treasure chest, picked it up, and his heart immediately filled with joy. It turned out that surprises always came at the end. Just this one piece made it all worthwhile, even if nothing else good had come out. He had thought he wasn't suited for opening treasure chests, but he had unexpectedly gone from hell to heaven. This was actually a brewing recipe, and its quality was as high as purple. Seeing the smile on Li Chenxiao's face, Yu Yao said, "It seems young master has opened something good this time." Li Chenxiao said, "Yes, I've opened a very good brewing recipe. Everyone will have good fortune to taste it from now on. The brewing function of our Jade Nectar Pavilion can finally be put to use. As long as there are enough ingredients, fine wine can be brewed." From the treasure chests, a total of 3.5 million void source crystals, 3.3 million void source stones, 650 arrow towers, 600 farmland, 320 water well, 200 attribute points, 1 peach blossom wine, a fire rain skill book, a freeze skill book, and various other equipment and items were obtained. The total gains from this wave of monsters are as follows. Void Source Crystals, 15.38 million. Void Source Stones, 15.18 million. Territory Buildings, 930 Arrow Towers, 850 Farmland, 520 Water Well, 200 Attribute Points, 1 Spirit Beast Garden, 1 Peach Blossom Wine, a Fire Rain Skill Book, a Freeze Skill Book, and various other equipment and items. Li Chenxiao brought Yu Yao and the others to the Jade Nectar Pavilion, took out the Peach Blossom Wine recipe, and placed it in the wine shop. Peach Blossom Wine Plus. Type. Winemaking recipe. Quality. Purple Outstanding. Function. Brew fine wine according to the recipe. Physical recovery plus 10% 20%. Different qualities of fine wine can be brewed according to different materials, with a maximum of purple quality. Seeing the plus after the peach blossom wine, Li Chenxiao was greatly surprised. The Chaos Azure Lotus could evolve territory buildings, but peach blossom wine was a winemaking recipe, not a territory building, so it shouldn't be able to evolve. Why was there a plus? Perhaps sensing Li Chenxiao's confusion, a message came from the Lord's heart. As a territory building evolved by the Chaos Azure Lotus, a supreme world wonder, the Jade Nectar Pavilion is not as simple as its panel suggests. It also has some hidden characteristics that can only be triggered when the Lord meets certain conditions. Its hidden characteristic is that for every 10 levels, one winemaking recipe can be upgraded to the same quality as the Jade Nectar Pavilion. Feeling the message from the Lord's heart, Li Chenxiao was overjoyed. All the buildings in his territory had been evolved by the Chaos Azure Lotus, which meant that the others also had hidden characteristics, he just didn't know how to trigger them yet. Looking at the introduction, Li Chenxiao felt as if countless high-level winemaking recipes were coming into his hands. After the trial, he would heavily acquire winemaking recipes for future use. At this moment, another message came from the Lord's heart. All territory buildings evolved by the Chaos Azure Lotus must also follow the Chaos Azure Lotus's evolution rules. Only rewards obtained by the Lord himself or drops from monsters he personally defeated count, others do not. Once placed, they cannot be changed. For example, if Li Chenxiao acquires a white winemaking recipe and places it in the Jade Nectar Pavilion, the wine produced will still be of white quality, and it will also waste a slot in the Jade Nectar Pavilion. Even if he later obtains a high-quality fine wine, he will not be able to replace it. Seeing this message, Li Chenxiao pouted, thinking, it really doesn't give any loopholes to exploit. Li Chenxiao clicked plus, and the peach blossom wine recipe in his hand disappeared, while the Jade Nectar Pavilion gained a new fine wine. Peach Blossom Immortal Wine. Type. Winemaking recipe. Quality. Golden Legend. Function. Brew fine wine according to the recipe. Physical recovery plus 10% 20%. Different qualities of fine wine can be brewed according to different materials, with a maximum of purple quality. Looking at the introduction, Li Chenxiao was delighted. Although it seemed almost identical to the previous one, with only the name gaining an immortal, and the quality changing from purple outstanding to golden legend, it was actually quite different. Winemaking recipes are divided into white common, green excellent, blue fine, purple outstanding, orange epic, and golden legend according to their quality. The winemaking recipe determines the upper limit of the quality of the brewed wine. For example, if the winemaking recipe is purple outstanding, even if golden legend materials are used to brew the wine, the maximum quality of the brewed wine will still be purple outstanding. The lower the quality of the materials used, the lower the quality of the brewed wine. If white common materials are used to brew wine, the quality of the brewed wine will be white common. Different qualities of fine wine correspond to different qualities of heroes and troops. For example, fine wine of purple quality, with a physical recovery of plus 10% 20%, is only effective for purple heroes and troops of lower quality. It is not effective for heroes and troops of higher than purple quality. This means that purple quality fine wine is merely a good drink for high quality heroes and troops, with no additional effects. The fine wine brewed by the wine shop is consistent with the level of the wine shop, and the effect decreases progressively. For example, a level 1 wine shop can only brew level 1 fine wine. Level 1 fine wine is 100% effective for level 1 heroes and troops, only 50% effective for level 2 heroes and troops, 25% effective for level 3 heroes and troops, 12.5% effective for level 4 heroes and troops, and only 6.25% effective for level 5 heroes and troops. It is ineffective beyond level 5 and can only be consumed as a beverage. Some winemaking recipes have requirements for the quality of the wine shop. For example, if a winemaking recipe requires a wine shop of blue quality or above, and even if you have a wine shop, but its quality does not meet the requirements, the brewed wine will have no effect. This is also why Li Chenxiao told Yu Yao earlier that everyone would have a treat, because the low quality level of the recipe meant that the effect of the brewed wine would not be effective for Yu Yao and the others. Many people might wonder why Li Chenxiao was still so happy, even though a purple outstanding quality winemaking recipe had no effect on Yu Yao and the others. The main reason is that most lords, heroes and troops are below purple outstanding quality. Although purple outstanding quality fine wine has no effect on Yu Yao and the others, Li Chenxiao can exchange it for resources after brewing it. By mastering this winemaking recipe, as long as he has the materials, he can continuously produce fine wine, which is equivalent to mastering a gold mine. Who would dislike having more resources? As for the effect fluctuating between 10%-20%, it depends on the materials invested when brewing the fine wine. For example, the main materials required for peach blossom wine are peach blossoms and water. If purple outstanding quality peach blossoms and ordinary water are used, the effect of the brewed fine wine will be physical recovery plus 10%. If both peach blossoms and water are purple quality materials, the effect of the brewed fine wine will be physical recovery plus 20%. Winemaking recipes do not have levels. The level of the brewed fine wine is determined by the level of the wine shop. For example, if the wine shop is level 1, the fine wine produced will be level 1. If the wine shop is level 10, the fine wine produced will be level 10. Generally, fine wine of the same quality and level corresponds to heroes and troops of the same quality and level. Level 1 fine wine is 100% effective for level 1 heroes and troops, only 50% effective for level 2 heroes and troops, 25% effective for level 3 heroes and troops, 12.5% effective for level 4 heroes and troops, and only 6.25% effective for level 5 heroes and troops. It is ineffective beyond level 5. Low-quality fine wine is ineffective for high-quality heroes and troops. High-quality fine wine is 100% effective for low-quality heroes and troops of the same level. For example, level 1 fine wine of purple outstanding quality is ineffective for heroes and troops of purple quality and above. For heroes and troops of purple quality and below of the same level, it is 100% effective. For different levels, the effect decreases as mentioned above. For example, level 1 fine wine of purple outstanding quality is 100% effective for level 1 purple heroes. For level 2 white common heroes, it only produces 50% of the effect, which would result in a great waste. Li Chenxiao already had the main material for brewing peach blossom immortal wine, which was golden legend quality water. As long as he found peach blossoms of the same quality, Li Chenxiao would be able to brew peach blossom immortal wine that would be effective for Yu Yao and the others and restore 20% of their physical strength. Thinking of this, Li Chenxiao's heart was filled with excitement. By the time all this was done, it was already noon. Today was the 22nd day of the monster invasion, and also the first day of the 4th week. Today's monster invasion quality should reach orange epic level. While the monsters had not yet invaded, Madame Lu quickly took the imperial chefs to prepare lunch. Li Chenxiao and Yu Yao also helped out, and the entire Jade Nectar Pavilion was filled with joyful laughter. After Li Chenxiao and the others finished their meal, they went directly to the city wall to await the monster invasion. After waiting for about an hour, around 2 p.m., the mist outside began to change. Hissing sounds came from within. Thanks for watching.